Hello everybody, this is me, DigMC, and welcome back to welcome to the first ever episode of the DigCast, an epic 2B2T podcast. As you can see to the left of me, on the screen, is my special guest, Bachibachbach. Bucky, introduce yourself.
I'm Bachibachbach. Bro, okay, I have no idea how to introduce myself, actually. Yeah, you know me. You probably know me. All right, there you go.
You probably know me. Okay,
you probably know me. Yeah,
right, yeah. So for those of you that don't know, he was the founder, leader, and eventual disbander of the Infinity Incursion. He has been in many Fitmc videos, which means he is a massive penis. And that's basically what you need to know. So, Bucky, you have a lot of haters.
Oh, you really want to get into this? All right. Yeah, sure, I do have.
And something a lot of your haters say, or something that they like to point out, is the fact that you have an ego. Is that true?
I have a yes. Yeah, definitely. I have a very big ego, I would even say. But I feel like there are two types of egos, right? Like there's this type of ego where people just have an ego for no reason, right? And I think there's the type of ego where people can like back it up, right? And I don't necessarily think that it's something bad to have an ego in the first place. But sure, I would agree with that. Yeah, definitely. But I would also say that a lot of people have an ego, right?
Yeah. And so how do you think that has affected how you've been playing, or how you played 2B2T?
So like you're talking more about like in the way of people, hating on me, or like...
No, just in your the things you've done on the server. How has that been contributed to by your ego?
Okay, so you're talking more about that, not about me developing an ego, but like having an ego naturally. So,
sure,
and that is why I was
I mean,
able
that's
to
what your haters say. They say, "Oh, Bucky has an ego," and you say you agree with that to an extent. And I was just wondering how has that affected what you've achieved on the server, basically, or how has that led you to achieving what you've achieved on the server?
I mean, I guess for any like bigger thing that you do, it doesn't really matter if it's on 2B or RL. You gotta have an ego, right? I really think what ego really means is also that you're confident in a way with what you're doing, and I feel like especially here you need to be very confident with a couple of things, and well. I still don't quite understand the hater ego thing, but yeah, dude, maybe Mr. Dig, maybe I really don't get the question. Maybe the question's too difficult.
You don't get a question. It's too high IQ.
Dude, maybe it's too high IQ. Maybe you're thinking about some crazy stuff. Like I really
some crazy shit.
I really don't know, man.
Okay, so. I think most 2B2T podcasts, they'll like to start off with kind of, how do you escape spawn? Where'd you find out about 2B2T? Obviously, you found out about it from Venom, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's so funny. We talked about this literally a couple of days ago only. That most of the podcasts, quotation mark podcasts, start with what was 2B2T like?
How what did spawn look like?
Yeah, what did you eat melons first?
I mean, no hate to the Fastcast or the Anarchy podcast. They are two very good podcasts that I'm very happy to have been a part of.
But, that's what Dig says. I don't care at all. Like honestly, I would have appreciated way more to like talk about very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it's more like an interview then, right? Like for
in
sure.
A way, rather than a conversation. True.
Yeah, for sure. But like yeah.
So when you did join 2B2T, did you have a goal to become a known player, a clout player, an influential player, or I don't know, just a part of the community? Like, was that your goal?
That's a very difficult question, right? Because that's like 4 years ago. Like I joined over 4 years ago, so I can not really remember. But I think the main reason why a lot of people still to this day join is to make a name for themselves in some way. And I remember that was very, very prominent in 2018. And I would say that there was definitely also one of the reasons why I joined, but it wasn't the reason why I joined. It was more like the video of Ant Venom was very, very intriguing. And at that time I didn't even play Minecraft anymore. I was just like, I was busy with graduating school at that time.
So the whole anarchy concept kind of intrigued you, basically.
Yeah. I've never heard of anything like that before, right? But like I would say that, you know, even back then I was pretty skilled at building. This is where the ego comes in again, by the way. No, but I would say that I was pretty skilled, and I really wanted to build on that server originally. And it's so fucking funny that after, like for the first 3 years, really, I didn't do that. I didn't build, right? I mean, I was building with you guys a bit back then.
I thought you kind of had your two solo bases, like Red Rock, Black Rock, and things in between.
But, you know, that's like, there wasn't really, dude, I was only basing there for a couple of months, right? And then pretty quickly we started the BSB stuff, and then later on II. And once I started Infinity Incursion, you know, the entire base building stuff was just completely, out of the question, right? Like I was just focusing on that.
You can't spend months planning a build and building it.
Yeah,
things to do.
Just going creative, right, and preparing something, doing that. I was not able to do that, but now I am, for like the past.
Since your retirement.
Since August, really, for the past like maybe 8 months or so, and I love it. It's really awesome. Really good.
You mentioned a minute ago that a big reason why players still join is to make a name for themselves. Do you think to what extent do you think you've capitalized on that desire?
I've capitalized on that.
Capitalized on other players' desire to make a name for themselves.
Oh! I see where you're going with this, Mr. Digland.
Yeah, asking the big brain questions.
Yeah, no, you're right. Sure, right. Someone wants like, I guess, clout of some sort. That's how it was back then. And they will look where they can get it from. And there are only so many options, right? You can start your own project, own group, which is difficult, arguably difficult. Especially when you're a nobody.
Of course.
when you don't know anyone, how are you going to start anything? It's very difficult.
I don't think there's ever been a group that's become considered a big part of the community within a year of the founders joining.
I would disagree with that, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What's with the homie Emperor? Because like Emperor had this entire idea of Imperium, right, before he even joined the server.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how the first year went for them, but I do think it went pretty well. But usually, sure, you're right.
Yeah. I mean that's what I was thinking. Were they a big player in the 2B2T group scene?
Yeah.
A year on, obviously, you know, they became to be one of the most influential groups on the server for a period of time.
Yeah,
but was that within Dark Emperor being a new fag? And I think possibly it was actually easier for new fags to get to that point at that time period, because 90% of the server was new fag, 95% of the server were new fags. Everyone had joined post Russia. And I know Dark Emperor wasn't really a rusher. He joined in December instead of July, or June, most rushers. But I think when all the rushers saying Russia sounds so gay. When all the new players joined,
when the Russians joined, say how it is.
Okay, when the Russians joined, they kind of just instantly, within overnight, a new player base just spawned in on the server, just got fucking dropped in, and groups are made out of that, rather than how it is now, when new players try to integrate themselves into the old player culture, essentially, which is quite hard, because kind of just how the way 2B2T society works.
I guess so, yeah. I guess. Wait, what was the initial question again? Why are we talking about Emperor again?
Oh no, I was just making a point that you don't really see groups becoming big in a year. because people kind of need that, I guess. This all stemmed from newfags wanting to become big namers or whatever the fuck. Yeah,
exactly. So exactly. And to get back to that, surely. So what do they do if they don't if they can't start a project by themselves, or if they can't do any of that? They will end up trying to join a group, right?
And
then you're in that situation as a new player. You only have so many options, especially at that time back then in 2020. So like in 2019, you had this massive like group dynamic still. I mean, what the fuck? Fucking Voco was still around at that time, right? Highland was a thing. Like, you had everything. You had Conquest, you had Teutonic Order, you had Imperium, you had BSB for sure. You had so many groups, and so there was such a huge group diversity. Now take a look in 2020. What was there? You had
II, basically.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying this to like, guys, look, there was only II. It was so important. That was literally it. That's why that was one of the reasons why it was so hated. Though maybe not a main reason, but that's what I'm saying. One of the reasons. So yeah, you're in that position. So what you're gonna do? You will try and join one of these projects, and I mean, at the time we did these large scale projects like Bobby Sky, or I mean, I guess everyone knows them, like Lava Curtain, Water Cube. All of these things, and it's just easy. You don't have to be anybody. All you need is a Minecraft account and time. You don't even need materials, really. Like we would literally supply the people with it, right? So if you want to get known in the community, or if you wanted to in that time, the easiest choice was just to be a nice guy and join II, right?
Yeah. And there was kind of a snowball effect going on at your peak in 2020, because you'd get all these newfags in to help you achieve this new project. Fitmc would then make a video on this project, which would lure even more newfags in for the next bigger project, and that's how it kind of cascaded into like this behemoth of a fucking group for that period of time, which had never really been seen on the same scale on the server before.
Never. Like, we were the first people, I feel like, to really capitalize on all of the attention that we got from Fit, and so before we really started with all of that, I was mainly observing what other people were doing, and I remember at the time a very prominent project was Team No Trees, right, where they had those like TNT bombers and shit. And I remember Fit making a video about that, and the day after that video, a very big video, I think if you look it up, millions of views, right? The day after, the server which Team No Trees was, conducted in was dead. It's like dead, because the goal was achieved, because the goal was never to really change spawn. Maybe initially that was the goal, but the main goal was to get the fucking video, right? And after the video, people would just like stop being interested in the project, because like, why do people do things on 2B, or like why do a lot of new players do things on 2B? And now we're coming full circle to get attention in some way. Most of the new players, at least, obviously not everyone, but now they see that they got all the attention possible from that project. There's no way that he's gonna make a second video on it, right? So what now? The project is not done. They could have bombed so much more, but yeah.
So do you think their failure lies in the fact that they didn't capitalize on the newfags joining to provide an easy way for those newfags to get in on the project and help? Because obviously II, you were saying you provide the materials, you have the whole fucking Discord set up perfectly. It's literally just sign up here if you have time, you're in, right? Whilst Team No Trees, I don't actually remember what happened with the Discord or anything, but I'm assuming is they just had their Discord fill up with all these random Discord accounts, maybe made a few at everyone pings, which just annoy everyone and make people leave again, and then never really kind of had a way to transfer those Discord accounts into players on 2B that are paying priority queue to help with your project.
Not even. bro. Not even.
No?
It's like this is what you would think, but I actually remember this very vividly. People, even to this day, right? People don't know how to work with the homie fit. Like, people don't know how to properly capitalize on those videos. I don't even think, you might want to correct me on that, but I don't even think that Fit advertised the Discord server of Team Notaries, or like put the link in the description.
Oh,
it's
I
like more
was just assuming
common
he
now,
did. Yeah.
right? I feel like that's more common now that he does that. Honestly, I'm out of that game for like months. Like, I have no idea how it actually is these days. But back then they didn't do that, and we were like, so I remember I was always talking like very openly with him about it. I mean, we even, we always used to VC in preparation of every single video. And
so you properly had input into the structure of his videos.
Yes,
in a way,
for sure. I said this, I think, in a previous podcast like 1.5 years ago. So, but like, he is an incredible guy when it comes to making these videos. 100%. The amount of transparency that he gives you is really, really good. So, like, I had access to the script. I could change, little parts of the script and make it less fit-like, you know what I mean? From the information.
Sure, yeah.
So how so many people are always mad about him getting so many things wrong.
Yeah.
And sure, he does get a lot of things wrong by himself, but especially when it comes to these projects, you always have the upper hand in the structure of that script. I remember VCing with LeJerf. It was like, I don't know, like 2-hour VC or so, about the NoCom video, right? And we're talking about how they are working together with Fit to get this video out, to get all the information correct. And they, this is not Fit's video, this is Nerds Inc.'s video. Like, they have the control of, the media that is presented, the things that he says. I'm sure Fit will always bring his touch in there, obviously, because,
your balloon is green.
Yeah. It's not like that they are sitting there and writing the script for them, right? But they have such high influence on what is in that script. So, if people are blaming him for misinformation, you just gotta tell him, man. You just gotta tell him.
Yeah, I mean, I think him reaching out to... I mean, he's always reached out to people about stuff he doesn't know, but it feels like this whole dynamic of the person he's making it, or group he's making a video on, contributing and like actively helping him with the script was kind of started ever since you kind of started doing it.
The things I don't know. All I know is that I was the... Okay, I don't even know if that is true, to be completely honest. I just know that I was most likely one of the first people that would VC with him regarding anything.
Right.
Regarding any video, I said, like, from the very beginning on, we can, I love saying that shit. I said, we will make a video that's beneficial for you, that's like appealing for your viewers, right? But in return, we obviously also want something.
So he sees that and is like, oh yeah, this guy isn't going to try and make me do something edgy or something. He understands that I'm making these videos for entertainment.
Yeah, I said this. Like, I said, you're paying your bills with that. This is how you make your money. This is your job. And we will try, and I will try and give you the best possible information and media for your video, but in return, since I don't get money from him, which that's what a lot of people thought, right?
The
like,
conspiracy.
No, a lot of people thought, or they even think to this day, that I was on his payroll or some shit.
You're his journalist, bro.
Bullshit.
On the ground, on the server.
Fucking bullshit. But so I was very openly communicating that, and I think you really respected that. It was a business, basically, right? It was a deal. It was a fair and square deal. I attention for the group, and the the continuous story, because that's also something that you don't see in other videos really. So at the end of every Fit video about II, you had him saying, "What's gonna happen next? I've heard that Bachibachbach said."
I remember that.
He told me in private that this and this is gonna happen, and
We'll have to wait and
some of it
see.
is bullshit, of course, right? Like some of it. But like, sure, I told him, you say that, so you keep the viewers interested, and people keep people interested to join the server, the Discord server, because they know there's a follow-up project. There will always be a follow-up project. So I was this entire collaboration, I was very focused on trying to get a lot out of those videos for us, right?
Yeah, you're squeezing the most.
I need to open another beer once.
Sure. We have a Patreon. For $5 a month, you can show your support to the DigCast and be able to watch our interviews live. To find out more, click the link in the description. Cheers. So, I mean, that must be such a fresh air for Fit, though, to have you come to just that whole dynamic, because prior to that, he's had multiple videos like the 2B2CQ's leaking bases and the one about the baritone bots taking over, which were completely like literal scripts of lies given to him that he's turned into a video. So he's used to being fucked over by players in order to get clout, because I don't know if you've seen it, but Legion has this entire like 50-page I don't know, it's a long ass document on how he tricked Fit into making a video on the baritone bots. It's fucking hilarious. But to go from that, where Fitz kind of needs to be careful if he's getting like baited or not, to a guy that's literally just been like straight up, yeah, I want to help you if you help me, here's the shit, basically. That just must be nice as a creator. So when did your like collaboration start with Fit? I'm assuming you reached out to him, or did he reach out to you first?
There is so much Fit talk, that's crazy, but it's fine. We have a long podcast here, I guess. Obviously I reached out to him, right? It's not like I was doing shit and then Fit was like, here, let's go.
Sure.
He would reach out to me later on once the first video dropped, just like to keep in touch with what we're doing, and just he wanted to be updated, of course, for like future videos. But originally I reached out, and originally I wanted him to make a video on the Obby Sky. Because that was very exhausting, and the group was even kind of falling apart. But it didn't happen, and then we did the lava curtain, and then that was the point where it all like really popped off. Like this is where he wanted to know more. It was perfect for him, because like he previously to that he had already made the trenches video, right? There was a Thebes trenches video, how they built the trenches, and it was just a beautiful follow-up to that video. Then you had this entire thematic of incursions that you could bring up again, because back then it was still this big thing. Incursions are dead, blah 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 blah, all of that shit. He made this video about it, like history of incursions, and that was the very beginning of that relation.
So was that kind of the lava wall was the turn? Because you said the sky was what kind of saved the group, right? And the lava curtain was kind of what propelled you to start actually gaining interest.
Yes, because there was so much drama in the first months, like even like almost first half year, and then we finally got something done, which was the sky, right? The Obby Sky. And that was like, it was the first time you had this community cloud, right? Like people saw, okay, they got shit done. That's pretty cool. Let's see what they will do in the future. So you had like this stable group of people, and it's incredible. I'm still like very, very close friends with people from back then, from Obby Sky days, and that's well over 2 years ago now. consider them one of them.
Yeah. Oh, you've been around a while, bro. I still feel like II is a recent event, bro. Nah, that shit was 2 years ago.
Yeah, nah, it's
but almost 3 years ago, right? It started.
Oh yeah, it's starting. Nah, it's still a while until 3 years.
Okay.
It's, actually,
well, because it was like
August
September,
2019.
Yeah, almost 3 years then. Wow.
Yeah, in terms of like Obby Sky.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
2 years.
So yeah. What made you What made you kind of like transfer the group from just building some bases to let's do these projects and let's get clout for it?
Bro, now you really want me to dig, huh? Let me think. I mean, it never. I always wanted to do the big projects, really. Once I had started the group, since originally I started the group. It's like everyone knows the story, I think. But like, Jared made his 8th incursion. That shit failed. I took over the incursion, restructured the Discord. Discord got deleted by frickin'. Then I made a new Discord server. Then I talked with you about it and said jokingly, I'm calling it Infinity Incursion because it's never gonna stop. And then you were laughing at me for trying to name it that way.
Yeah, I was like, that's cringe.
And then like a year later, it was literally the biggest, the biggest shit on the server, which is so funny. But yeah, so I did all of that. Then you have obviously the entire drama. You have being Xerox, Ethan, like trying to build some democratic fucking.
Oh, I mean, every group has drama in its early days.
Yeah, fuck that, fuck all of that, fuck all of the democracy. It's never gonna work. If you ever, if you make I will give some advice to anyone listening right now. If you're ever gonna make a group right now, make sure that you're the only leader, right?
I don't know. Co-leaders work pretty well. Me and Imans, we have that tight bond.
Currently, it's worked pretty well, homie. You've had this group for 3 years. You had a lot to think about over the past 3 years and how to like do this shit, right? And you've known each other for a very long time. But think about someone like that just wants to, start a group that doesn't know anyone.
Oh, if it's a random person you're coding with, no.
Yes, and you even before you even started BSB, you had a history, right? You were together in Astro.
Yeah.
So
we'd known each other. And we were friends. That's why.
Yeah. But if you want to, start from scratch, you don't know anyone, then do be your only leader. You can only have something as a like voting system group. That's what we have right now. If you know the people, if you've known the people for a while. Kind
of like the Spawn Masons do, don't they?
Yes. I don't have the insights on how they, or I do. Sure. Maybe I do. You never know. But yeah, I guess it's more like democratic in there. I have no idea though. Yeah. I cannot.
But that system only works once you're all friends, basically.
Oh, in their case, not.
Really?
Because not everyone in there is friends.
Oh, but I always assume that's kind of how it worked.
Do you think? I don't know how many people in there. You think like 60, 80 people are like the closest friends?
That's true. Yeah.
It's like for sure not. For sure not. They're sure that there's surely some people even in there that beef with each other, but like everyone's getting, I feel like along for the greater cause. And then you have also people in there who just like incredible friends, right? Like very close friends. But again, I'm not in a position to really comment on that.
But it was just an example of just talking about the democracy system. So what? We'll get on to what new players should be thinking about when starting a new group later. But first of all, what in a sort of summary, what are the main reasons that II had the rise that it did?
That had the rise.
So what made it a success?
So first of all, this is a very ballsy statement, all right? But I believe that no one will ever be able to build a group like that unless we have something like COVID again. Because the main thing why I was a success was not because I'm the fucking smartest guy on TVTT when it comes to like group leadership or some shit. Surely not. Surely fucking not. But time, right? Just because of COVID, everyone was home. No one had anything to do. Everyone had all the time. And I tell you, Dick, homie, like, you will never in your entire life have that much time again.
I know, I've thought about
for
that.
Sure not.
For Until I retire, yeah. It was
and that was I would say like one of the biggest reasons for sure, because like I had all the time. For me, it was even better. I didn't even have uni at that time. I had to do an internship at that time, but I didn't really have to do it because I was already working at a company. But then for long duration for COVID, like I really didn't have to work that much, so it was perfect for me. I was playing Minecraft 16 hours a day, right? Like I had all the fucking time. Also never do that. My health was really, really bad.
Yeah, public service announcement, kids. Don't play video game for 16 hours.
No, for real. Like I was like, when you play that much, it's fine. Like, dude, don't get me wrong. Grind if you want to grind. Play if you want to play. But look after yourself. Try to eat. Try to drink. Try to get sleep. That should get me personally really fucked up. Also, I was like super fucking passionate about all of this. So I really wanted it to succeed. I wish I would have put all of that energy into something that made me money.
Why do you think you were so passionate about a Minecraft server?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It was COVID. I had nothing better to do, really. That was like my thing. And maybe for the first time in my life, I had this opportunity, like where I saw I can achieve something like super big
on a scale, right?
Yeah, something of scale, like something that even in like 10-20 years, like some random Minecraft kids will remember me for.
You're gonna
right?
Be in the Minecraft history books.
Yeah, sure that's LARPy, sure that's fucking no, yeah, obviously, right? But maybe it was that, but I couldn't tell you. I just did it, you know. Honestly, it was fun. It was a ton of fun.
There you go.
It's fun to be in the spotlight. It's fun to get so much shit done. It's just fun to do all of these things, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And surely that was one of the reasons. Yeah.
Do you think the way you've gone about achieving your goal, or no, sorry, I'll rephrase that. Do you think the goals you have on 2B2T are a reflection of what you're like in real life? Are you the same sort of when you're in a scenario when you think that you can have power and you can sort of control the situation in a way that puts the spotlight on you? Do you take that?
Yes, I would say so. However, and that's very sad to say actually, but you know, I'm gonna keep it real to myself. In that game, I've been way more passionate about like things in real life. For like 100%.
It's that hook that keeps people playing 2B, man. Like no one can really explain it, right. But it's just like, everyone's felt it. Right. It's crazy.
You're right. To achieve something IRL that's meaningful, it takes a lot, right? It takes a lot. I feel like doing it on here, it takes less. Sure, it's difficult too, but it takes less, and it's much more. It's way more achievable, right? Than doing something meaningful IRL. And I think, if I'm being 100% honest to myself, that's one of the reasons why I was really even addicted, very addicted to the game. But yeah.
Would you say you're still addicted to 2B2T?
100%.
In that you can leave but you can't quit, or what, you can quit but you can't leave, or some bullshit. Dude, the phrase.
Okay, listen, I was so proud of myself. So I'm in my final year at uni right now, and for the people that don't know, like the final thing you do in university is you write a bachelor thesis, and it's like the highest scientific paper that you can write when you want a bachelor's degree, right? And so I recently turned that in, like over 2 weeks ago. I turned that in, and for almost 3 months, I was not on 2B2T. I was not on TB1s. Like I did not play at all. It was like one of the first times where I was like, all right, I really, really got to focus on this. I really got to get this going. It's like, you know, it's 50 pages. You got to put a lot of effort into that. Once you can't play 2B, you can't play any video games, you can't do anything, right? You just wake up, write, and that's it. But yeah, other than that, sure, I'm fucking addicted. Like, I haven't quit once, only for the times it was necessary.
Yeah, when
right?
you really had to for real life. Yeah.
Yeah, when I really, really had to. Dude, even also I love telling that story too. During the water cube, that entire thing took like 18 days, right?
Sure.
So on a weekend, I was at a friend's party. He lives like nearby, or he used to. And so we went there to make things short. So like after the party, we all were a bit under the influence of alcoholic beverages. So we were walking home to my direction. There's like three guys, on the other side of the street. And apparently one of the guys that we were with had a problem with them. So we got in a fight basically, right? And, they fucked them up. But dude, I got fucked up. I got fucked up really bad. So they had to call the ambulance. I was in the hospital for like one night. And the next day, it was all during water cube. So I had to stay there. Then my parents had to pick me up. It was next day. It was 8 a.m. We went straight back to the water cube.
Bro, like, if only you'd have had your crystals on you when you got jumped, bro.
Honestly,
it would have been okay.
Honestly,
God damn.
Honestly. No, but I really wanted this. And
yeah, of course.
No, I'm way too addicted. And retrospectively, that was such a bad decision because I felt after we were done, I felt so terrible. But yeah.
Would you put the final satisfaction of well, actually, no, different question. What do you think you gain more enjoyment for? The finishing of the projects, like when they're actually done and looking at them, or the process to get to the finished product?
What did they say? The way is the goal?
Yeah, basically.
Like that. It's a 50-50 really, right?
Okay.
And it depends what project. Watercube was fun all the way. There was not a single day that wasn't fun. Secret Void was fun in the first month. After that, it was the most exhausting and annoying shit I've probably ever done on the server. And I hate myself for fucking sitting
for viewers that don't know, what was Secret Void?
Oh yeah, we were bombing out 1K, or like the surface of 2K range nether, and then the entirety of the 1K range in the nether.
Yeah, basically making it a void. Nice.
Yeah, so you would isolate all the highways, and if you ever wanted to close spawn, you could stationate.
Sure.
Yeah, people on the highways, like on the 8 highways, and then technically no one would be able to get out.
It's quite interesting. Sorry, yes. Keep going.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because in real life, you see with like athletes and like business owners, once they finally like get to like number one athlete, or they get to they sell their business for $1 billion, some of them are just like become so depressed because their whole lives have been dedicated to building this thing.
Yeah.
And once you've actually achieved it, like you've done it, like what's there to live for anymore?
You feel great. You feel
great in the short term, but then you just feel like, why am I alive? So it's okay, not to that. I mean, to be fair, in some cases it is to that extent. Like, look at Notch. That man was fucking depressed for like years after selling Minecraft. And I was just intrigued to see if that was kind of a similar sort of feeling on 2B.
Yeah. As I said, it's 50-50. The way there can be incredibly nice. But once you're done. So you gotta see what you're doing or where you want to go. So that also kind of brings us back to the Fit thing where he's announcing like the next project and what's going on next, and like at everyone pinging people with like an image and telling them, this is what's coming next. But generally, I would agree with that. Once you're done, and then you need to already know before you get done what you're doing
after. Yeah. So at what point? I think you've kind of already hinted at it during Secret Void. But what was the point where did your enjoyment of running II climax, and when did it start going downhill in terms of like, oh, this isn't as fun as it used to be. This is becoming a bit of a headache. When did that sort of start?
I mean, the peak II was Watercube 2020, like November, I think it was. That was crazy. it was even or even when Mr. Beast joined the server. And I remember I have a recording of that, and if I ever quit TB, I will upload that recording to my channel. I was sitting there in the infamous Baki office, and there were like 80 people, 60, 80 people in VC. Like everyone knew Mr. Beast just joined. Like what will happen? So much like dynamics, drama, tension, all of that.
You have to say.
And I sit in there. I disabled anyone joining from office, only like a few close friends, and then Fit joins the VC, and I'm not. See, I won't bullshit anyone here, right? Like I'm not saying this to be like ha funny. Again, if I ever quit, I will release that recording of that day. But he joins VC and says, "What do we do?" Yes, and then it's the funniest shit. It's the funniest shit. I love this recording so much. There's no way he's gonna listen to this podcast, right? But sure. if you do, that was the funniest shit.
I mean, it's ultimately Fit that saved that entire situation because he was the one that dissuaded. No, is that not the case,
bro? Okay, again, I should really quit the server so I can upload this shit, right? But there's a follow up, obviously, to the question, what do we do, Baki? So I said in that VC, there is nothing that you can do. Like I asked him, I think I asked him, like, what do you mean? Like, what do we do? Like, what do you think we are supposed to, like, fucking grief the highways or build a lag machine? Like, dude, it's fucking Mr. Beast. It's not like, I don't know, like, what's a small YouTuber?
Tommy. Oh, I know he was. Well, when Tommy joined, he wasn't that big. So
yeah, but like, it's not someone like that. It's fucking Mr. Beast, you know. So like, what do you think? It's nothing's gonna help. The server's fucking dead. Like we can't even get online, you know, to do anything. Yeah. So I said the only thing that you can try and do is get in contact with them and call them. So I didn't tell him call his manager because, bro, how would I know that this is even a possibility, right?
Yeah.
But I told him, please get in contact with them ASAP, like. And then later on that day, he called me again on Discord and said, Baki, I got in contact with the manager of that entire Mr. Beast crew. And we talked about TB2T, what TB is, and blah, blah, blah. And you know how Mr. Beast is on that family-friendly wave and shit. And they were making like very clear that this server is not family-friendly. The content that this server includes is not family-friendly by any means. And that he shouldn't make a video, and then he did not make a video about it. So that's how that went.
Yeah, so Fit was the savior of a 2v2t in that case.
I guess.
Well, you inadvertently. I mean, he was expecting you to be like, yes, highways, water cube ×2, fucking patrol spawn or bullshit, and then you were just like, bro, there's nothing I can do.
So I kid you not, I can hear that in someone's voice, like when someone has money on his mind, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, that guy was joining VC with $signs in his eyes, right? Like, obviously, homie. Dude, I am Fitmc. I am literally releasing videos right now that get millions of views already. You know, I make so much money. And now Mr. Beast is joining. Bro, I would fucking sit there with a giant ass boner asking Mr. Beast if we can, like, make a collab video or some shit, right? For sure, bro. You never know if the Fit could have like 5 million subscribers now or like 10. Bro, you don't know, like, if that would have happened. So I guess it was very intriguing for him, but that's just an assumption. Like, can't.
It's interesting how he decided to go and call the attack. That sounds so gay, but call the attack off, if you will, call the video off, because in his mind he's balancing. Okay, if they do join, short-term massive viewership, however that's gonna kill future content because it's gonna fuck up the player base, and obviously he relies on player-made content to make his videos. So that's interesting how he was like, it's not worth the short-term boost in subscribers to let the server die. So
he also told me another thing in that VC that I can't remember. He said if Mr. Beast joins, then all the stands, all the Mr. Beast stands from Twitter will also be, in the party. a part of the party. No, but they will be a part of it. And he was, unironically, he was scared that this might cause the actual downfall
that's true.
of the server.
So like
people messaging Microsoft, Mojang, whatever, right? Saying, how can you allow a server like this? You have swastikas here. You have people making CP map art. You have people doing all kinds of illegal activities, going against the EULA of Minecraft. You have all this shit, right? How can, first of all, how can Mr. B support a server like that? How can Fit support a server like that?
And how
can Minecraft allow a server like that, right? So this was something that he was very concerned about.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but that's the exact point I made in my video on how and why 2B2T could die, and it's still very much a potential reality.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it gets even more scary now with the chat filter thing, right?
Yeah, which was also predicted in that video. So
really,
no, that was one of the points. I was like, because that when I made that video, Microsoft had just announced the chat filter for Bedrock Edition, and I was like, yeah, this is 100% coming to Java within the next few years. 2B eventually will have it, and could this cause 2B to get bummed?
Did you make a shot of that and credit yourself? Like saying, I called it, guys, I said it?
I called it.
You should have, man. But yeah, that was a crazy time. And back to the original question, like that was truly the peak. That's why I felt very comfortable. That was a crazy time. I used to wake up to over 100 individual DMs from people. That's crazy.
I couldn't deal with that, bro. The amount of autism.
Yeah, I have recordings. I have recordings from that. I have like normal recordings, and I have a recording from my 21st birthday on 2B, and I had over 200 individual DMs on that day, and like more and more coming in. And bro, I won't shit you. That felt great. Obviously,
really.
It was a meme, yeah, sure. It even became a massive meme in II where I was like sitting with the with the goons, with the trusted people in the office. I would stream my DMs and we would speedrun. There's a list of times, like like I was literally speedrunning the DMs. So it was so crazy. I had the classic answers like Lemao, Keck, lol. I had them keybinded. I had them fucking keybinded to like here the what is it on the very right, the numpad, that shit. I had them keybinded, and I was just sending that shit. If someone was sending some stupid question, I just said Lemao next fucking DM. So it was a great time, but I'm also glad that this is not the case anymore.
I don't know if I could deal with that.
It got very tedious after a while.
People like Dima existing is enough, that's one person. You get 100 of people like that.
Bro, the homie
Dima, yeah. So I was watching the Dark Emperor's episode on the Dr. Enderpickle show, right, the other day. And something interesting he talked about, and that he said it was something that you and him had previously talked about, was something called the retard hole, in which a group to grow takes in so many newfags and annoying kids that eventually it pushes out the active members and you're just left with a shell of just kids, basically. So to what extent do you think that kind of happened with II, and sort of what was the time period? Do you think that sort of... like, when did that begin?
Okay, so first of all, I 100% agree with the homie Emperor here. But I was preparing for that already. Like, I was in...
You knew it was going to happen?
Yes, so in November, during peak Waterkeep, I already prepared for this scenario because I felt like, oh my god, there's so many people joining. There's so many autistic people joining. We let everyone in. The applications there were two questions in the applications. For all of those who listen and remember this, I will now tell you the actual application process. All right. First question: do you have priority queue? Second question: will you be able to afford priority queue in the future? if you did not tick yes on both, we didn't even look at the application. We just skipped it, like literally. And they were like hundreds of applications.
And did you have people writing like why they should join and why there'd be a contribution and stuff?
What?
Like within the application, were people writing like why they should join II, what they can contribute, and all that.
Oh
kind of
yeah, bro. There were people writing paragraphs that
thing. Yeah.
it was funny. We sometimes still look through it. And they were writing like big ass paragraphs why they want to join and shit, but it didn't matter. You need both, man. You need prior
You need
queue,
priority
you need
queue,
to
and you
be able
need priority queue in the future, of course.
but so that's the only thing that was interesting for us, right? Like we didn't care about if you're like a cool guy or a retarded guy. We just wanted you to place fucking ice and obsidian and lava, you know. The rest was fucking, you know, no one cared. But so yes, there were so many people in II, and it's easily one of the most autistic groups that the server has ever seen.
Bro,
Many.
there were some times in the
Holy
VCs
shit.
it was awful.
Holy shit. So and but that's the thing, we had this policy. We did say let's let everyone in. Fuck it, right? We need people. So there was the trade-off. You had a few gems. And those are the people that I'm with to this day.
So how did you separate the gems from the autists?
So exactly. So and this is what we did in November. So we started I started a private server. And this is where we got all the gems, all the mostly Infinity people, right? That for the people that don't know, that was the highest rank. But like all the people that I generally cared about, that were like really good friends, even back then, and that were mature. So we started that Discord server, and then very shortly, or somewhat shortly after that, there was like before 2021, like end of 2020, we started the Bookhood, which is the main group that I'm in right now. And that group literally just consisted of the mature and cool people of II. So there was this meme in II, and Lightning is in VC, so you might know that one, where we said we were like in a big VC, for example, like 30 people or so, like 20 people. We will go to Redacted now. Can you come to Redacted? You know, and then we would join the Bookhood server, the private Bookhood server,
right.
And just like do our shit in there. And the group had no real purpose at that time. It was literally just
a collection of good people.
Yeah, it was just a hidey hole, right. Which I guess it still is to this day. But it was just the cool, mature people that, you know, all of us appreciated. And
so basically, as soon as you noticed that there was a guy in the 50-person VC of Spawn PvPers who actually was really nice to talk to, you'd like invite them to this server or something, or you'd like move them into private VCs more, or like how did you stop them from being alienated by the retards, and how did you kind of encourage them to get into your group because you knew that there would have been a good person to play with?
I feel like you need a hand for that. I feel like you need luck and you need a hand for that. And I feel like in the past I had a very, very good hand with that. The only time where I really, really messed up was when we added Pyro to the group.
What was wrong with Pyro?
There's nothing wrong with him. He was just too young at the time.
Right, yeah.
I feel like he made... I certainly did things that weren't okay. I was joking a lot about things that were surely not appropriate. But I don't even think that this was the main reason. He was very childish, very, very young, not mature by any means. You know, he decided what he wanted to do, which was then later on leak our main base. And yeah, you might remember that. And you know, that's old stuff. No one cares about.
I mean, you joined a VC with Pyro in 2021. All you hear is the N word.
Homie, even to this day. But like, I still think. So, look, we're both German, right?
Sure.
And it's something different when you talk in your native language with someone. I feel like.
Sure. Yeah.
So you connect on a different level. And bro, I was about to say I saw something in him. Where are we? But like,
you just get the sense of tribalism.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, but I felt like he's a really nice guy. Sure, he had this, you know, autism. He was doing his whatever he was doing there. Yeah, you disconnected. What the
Yeah,
fuck,
I
dude?
know.
So I'm taking over now. Yeah.
No.
But he was on his trip there doing his stuff. Great guy, honestly. He was a great guy though. It's unfortunate how everything ended for sure, but man, it's his fault. For like,
Fair enough.
I'm so sorry for so many things, but like it's sure, yeah.
His actions. Did you have a minimum age for joining II?
No, for
Never.
II not, but for Bookwood we do now.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. That's.
Yes, we say 17 to 18.
Really,
That's
that's
like
high. Okay.
Yes,
You
it's
can
not
get some
no,
mature
it's not.
15-year-olds on 2B. To be fair.
Yes, I think Oddpay. I honestly think that Oddpay has matured so much.
Yeah, Oddpay's had like this I want to get him on the podcast actually. He's had such a because he's gone from being like the absolute like everyone bullies him, everyone thinks he's like the biggest spaz, and you talk to him now, it seems like people actually like him. It's really interesting. I really want to get him on the podcast to talk about that.
He's a great guy.
Honestly, he genuinely seems like a good person to be around.
I really just got in contact with him since like March of this year. Dude, we don't have to talk about any of the actions before that. That's the most retarded shit he knows.
The USB stick, which didn't even
that didn't happen. Okay, like I asked it, that he never plugged a physical USB stick into someone's PC. It never happened.
That was just some shit we started because it was funny and we knew it would make Fitmc like jizz
yes,
over it.
And it is funny to this day.
Yeah,
so you succeeded.
Oddpay moment.
But since then, he has matured to so much, and I think that that was the turning point.
So there are some exceptions. Basically, young people can be.
Yeah.
But as a baseline, I think in BSB it's always been. I think when we were younger it was 13. I think more recently it's like 14. We've never. I mean, I don't think we have anyone in the group lower than 16 right now. We might have one 15-year-old. I don't fucking know.
Do we have in Bookwood? We have 3 people over the age of 30.
Really?
Yes. Yes, and they are the greatest people. They are literally the greatest people. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I have all of them around me and not some
awesome.
14-year-old squeakers or some shit. But yeah.
So do you ever think you'll return to the life of a big group leader? Do you think there'll ever be a successor to II?
Yeah, those are 2 separate questions though, right?
No, a successor to II by you.
Oh, by me? Yeah. No, that is a straight no from me.
You've been there, done that. Don't want to do it again.
Never again. Okay. So recently, right now, we're hosting the 2B2T Oscars, right? That's Blackheart's project. I'm just helping him. He doesn't know how Discord works, basically, so I'm helping him with the setup and everything.
Some people are so incompetent when it comes to like organizing things. It's infuriating.
So I'm helping him. And there are so many people in there. There's like, bro, it really shows you how cloud driven this community is. Like in its core, the core essence of 2B, whether you like it or not, and sure, there will always be people, no, I don't care, I just want to build and make monuments or some shit. But the core of this community is just cloud driven, and the 2B2T Oscars is the perfect example. But there's so much autism in there. There is so much autism in there, and I'm so glad. It's eye-opening. It's really eye-opening. Funny enough, yesterday I said this in a book at VC to my homies. Holy shit, this community has become autistic. Even younger audience, even more retards. And it's just people accusing each other of something to, get someone banned from the Discord. Yeah. It's just people saying the most horrendous stuff about each other. And unbearable. Honestly unbearable. And I'm so glad that I don't have anything to do with this part of the community anymore. It's fun for a project like that, but just being in charge of all of these people again, hell the fuck no.
So even though everyone looks back at their past or the past time on 2B2T with rose-tinted glasses, it tends to be, would you still say that community today is worse than 2020 community?
best community was 2018. You know this, but
of course.
It's worse. It's definitely worse than 2020. Yes,
really,
100%.
because
Yes.
I've had the view in the past few months that the community is actually returning to how it was in 2019, 2018. In terms
Why
of,
are you saying this? Why are you saying this?
because of the way,
server.
there's all these different groups now. Everyone seems to be kind of finding their own identities in different factions. From that's kind of from the perspective of an outsider looking in. I'm still not integrated in the community like I used to be, like at all. But from what I've seen, that seems to be the general shift from there's one group II, or there's two groups II, and fuck knows some other cunt who's like been in the Fitmc video, to now there's all these different factions, just like it was in 2019, 2018.
I don't really. You have some great like groups that have come up for a while, like the SBA thing. I think that was pretty cool. They used like to make spawn bases and stuff, and I know the I think one of the leaders somewhat well, the homie Durka, shout out, and those were pretty cool. I know that Wazy is back.
Yeah,
fucking Wazy, homie. Oh my. Anyway, it's a different story. They are doing stuff, but I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about like any of these groups. They're all fucking retarded groups. I'm so sorry, man, but like, I don't care. There's only currently on 2B. There's only one thing I give a shit about, and the rest is just like, dude, you can make the 1 billion fucking group that PvPs and builds bases. Like, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't that always... that's kind of interesting to hear you say that, because I swear when you were running I remember talking to you, and I remember you saying how you wished more people would make stuff, like make projects.
Yes, I wanted that so much. I honestly wanted that so much back then. And I was like, bro, when I'm going to disband II, there's a massive fucking hole. And dude,
that's
people
true.
Still say that to this day.
No, that's what happened, yeah.
Yeah, dude, okay, this is not my words, okay? This is not my words, but people said... This sounds so stupid to say, but like, people said that the community in a way actually died once that shit was over. Because
I don't know about that, bro.
Nothing to do. No, okay, listen. Maybe not the community, but a big part of the community.
Okay.
The community, that's bullshit, obviously.
Yeah.
But I obviously, who's telling me that? PvPers are telling me that.
But II gave people some sort of identity. You're trying to say.
And bro, not even. You just had something to do, right? So like a part of it surely, died in a way, or it became. Let's say it became more inactive, in a way. It's not like I was gone, bro. TVTT is dead, guys. Yes, for sure not. But there was a lot of activity coming from.
It's changed the shift, right?
Yeah, and then again, if you really want dynamics in the community, you always need two parts. You need an enemy.
That's what makes shit interesting.
Yeah, and I was also that enemy for a lot of people. And suddenly that enemy was gone. There's like no one to fuck with anymore. So yeah.
And that's why Imperium was kind of successful at its peak, because everyone wanted to inside Imperium, and all those battles like the Viperium War and their bullshit with like the democratic group a lot. Oh no, they were in the I can't even fuck it. There was like bullshit conflicts that made them, because it's what makes people like, when you identify yourself with a group and someone starts attacking that group and you start fighting back, that's what gives you a sense of purpose, as well as like that. I'd argue that gives an even bigger sense of purpose than a common goal to be in a Fitmc video. It's just that a common goal is way easier to get into that situation where you're building towards a common goal, rather than two equal and opposite powers fighting, because usually it's turns into a shit fest of like doxing, or it doesn't really happen.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, it's so fun. Now that I think of all of this, right? The first question you asked me was really, really good, actually. The ego question. That was a very well-placed question, not gonna lie. But
I did plan that, by the way. That wasn't just off the top of my head.
It's good regardless, right?
Sweet. Sorry to interrupt, boys, but I just want to let you know that we have a Patreon. By actively supporting the podcast, you will be able to attend our interviews live in-game at the studio and in Discord. By being in-game, you will be able to interact with the world outside and in front of the podcast studio, which essentially means you can just build some massive penises behind the window. Your name will also be added to the supporter signboard, and you'll get some Discord perks as well. So I hope to all see you in the studio soon. Now, back to the podcast. Okay, so, Bucky, after you may have kind of sort of inadvertently answered this question before, but after the disbandment of II, what keeps you coming back to the server?
The people.
The community.
No, not the community. Fuck the community.
But the community and the people are kind of the same thing, you know?
Hell no. Hell
it's
no.
kind of the same thing,
no? No, I have my own community, man.
Oh, yeah. Alright, fine. Okay. Yeah.
That's sure. And, you know, I maybe saying fuck the community is a bit too much, but there's surely like a part in the community that I, you know, just don't enjoy anymore. I really don't enjoy the community anymore.
So why do you think it is more how it is now? Like, why has that happened? Do you think maybe the server has experienced its own retard hole in that, like, so many like autists just like make the good chill people want to leave, or it maybe because I don't know, because I wouldn't really have an answer to that.
I don't know either. I can't, like, I feel like maybe that maybe the entire to-be community the entire audience has become way younger even than it was like
I wouldn't say it has. I don't know.
I don't know. That's just like my, you know, it's just like what I feel like. Maybe not even younger, maybe just like more immature. It's for me, dude. Honestly, maybe it's not even their problem. Maybe it's a personal problem. Maybe I've just become older.
Maybe,
you know. Maybe I've just like become older, and you know, maybe I'm in a position now where I do not really want to engage with that type of stuff anymore. And again, this is like how it's always been. There are gems in the community. There are very cool people in the community, but then again, there are also a lot of people. The majority of people who are just unbearable. What was the original question, though? I was about to say something. You just like
I said, why has the community? What the reasons for the community becoming worse, basically?
Oh yeah, but before that.
What keeps you coming back to the server after you disbanded II?
Yes, that was the thing. That's an early question. We should have talked about the disbandment first, but we can answer that.
This is a fluid podcast.
I see.
There's no love.
I see how it is. All right. No, but mainly the people that are in my group, because these people are not just people I play with, that I play video games with.
They're friends.
They are very close friends of mine. Like, they have become very, very, very close friends of mine. Like, you know, IRL friends, really.
Yeah.
Dude, we have each other everywhere. You know, like, I know almost everything about like the others, or each other on, you know, Instagram, WhatsApp. We have our own WhatsApp group and shit.
It's the same in BSB, yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, I've met up, you know, with some of these people, more of these people this year, hopefully in London.
Bro, shout me when you're in London.
Yeah.
Nah, unironically, bro. Come on.
You could, yeah, sure, you could join us.
I'm down.
I don't mind.
When you say us, who else? Who am I? I'm not trying to talk to fucking like Syrup Drip.
Yes, that's the homie. I invited him. He's coming. No, I can tell you after the.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I can tell you after.
First.
So they are just very close friends of mine that have also become like a huge part of even my social life, and that I value more than anything else this entire server, anything here has ever given me, right? Bro, I've been through so much stuff with these people for 2 years, and they're still there, and I can't even put into words how much I love these guys, man. It's really, I'm very grateful, and I for sure would not be here anymore without like these guys for sure.
But I mean, that's really nice and all with the friends, but I feel the same way about BSB, but none of us play 2B anymore. It's all just kind of Discord and other games. So is 2B, you know, just because, it's how we all know each other, it's what we do? Or is there actually something about the server that's still like, I would prefer to play 2B than we all go and play fucking Monopoly or something, you know? Like,
No,
that's a bad example, but you know what I mean, right?
No, you're right. I know what you mean, though. Dude, maybe like 5-6 people. There's maybe like 5-6 people that play 2B, right? And maybe some others like on and off. But realistically, I'm still a fucking crack when it comes to 2B. Like as I said, I'm still addicted. I'm playing.
But why? What keeps you coming back? Because you've already said, I never want to do something like II again, but you made it seem as though
I have this thing. I have this thing that I'm very passionate about now for 1.5 years. So 2B is a never-ending game, really, just like Minecraft. You know,
100%, yeah.
Never-ending game. However, there is a few things on 2B that not even a handful of people can do or can achieve. Maybe not even 3 people, right? Maybe not even 2. And that is making or building a successful. Sure, what is successful and what isn't, that's a different debate, right? But making a successful private group.
True.
Currently on the server, there's only one.
Small Masons, yeah. That we know of course. There may be.
Dude, I'm telling you, what's with the Oftopia Moo group? What's with them? What's with the Moo?
That's true. Yeah, I think they've kind of all just. Because they made a Moo too, but it just got griefed by Jared in like a month.
Dude, they're somewhere out there. There is surely a private group there.
Do you reckon?
Surely.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I reckon they've moved on and split up, but.
You really think they made Moo, then they made Moo 2, and then they were like, now it got griefed.
You make a good point.
Let's come on. I'm quitting now.
That's bullshit, actually. I retract my station. They're definitely out there somewhere. So go and find them, guys.
Go find them. Go
chunk trace. Yeah.
But I think the most difficult thing to do on 2BTT is build a private group. I think there's nothing more.
When you say private group, doesn't that just mean a group of friends, right? A friend group.
A private group with a similar influence that I had on the public, just in private.
So the Spawn Masons, basically.
I don't always want to say the Spawn Masons, but I guess you would not be wrong with that. Yes.
Yeah, well, it's the closest thing.
It is the thing, really. Right?
The thing, yeah.
And they have incredible people. Like they have. I don't want to talk too much about them. The thing is, I don't really like that because I don't want to like instigate any drama or like leave a bad taste on anyone's mind. Like as of right now, I think I'm chill with a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to trash talk anyone in there by any means or make anyone uncomfortable.
I do. Joey Coconut, absolute sped.
Well, we had our problems, but I think as of right now, it's chill.
Fair enough. Yeah. No.
I mean, come on. I'm still banned from fucking TBTT Discord archive, map art Discord, the fucking TBTT, just the archive server, But I still think, a lot of time has passed now, and there's some cool people in there.
So that's the ultimate goal then, a group like that for you?
Not a group like that.
A group better.
I don't also don't want to be better.
Right.
That's not
a metric you can really.
It's not the ambition. Just getting there.
Right. A private group that you enjoy running that has influence. Yeah.
Yes, and I feel like not only it's not about the influence part. I don't want to be like, look, we're so clouded, we're a private group. I feel like in that sense, or not in that sense, but I've already achieved what I wanted to, which is like a cool, nice, private group of like people that I generally like. But I want to go for greater things, and we've been working on it for months now, for a very long time, and there's something coming to the server that will change a part of this community drastically.
Okay.
Very drastic, like never been seen before, basically. But I can't really elaborate on that.
Is it the book tracking exploit?
Yes, the book tracking exploit. So whenever you have a book, guys, don't open it.
Guys, look at Baki trying to laugh it off, bro. The cover-up is real.
No, but there's so many great things that you can do that don't involve placing obsidian.
Of course.
And that's the ultimate thing that you can do. At least I feel like everyone has its own thing, right? But look, in 4 years of TBTT, I've never been to the fucking end. I've never been to the world border. I've never done like any of this
the
shit.
classic LARP stuff.
But for some people, that's like the
bucket list
thing.
Yeah.
That's what they want. Yeah, the bucket list, right? That's what they want to do. The only generic thing I did on that list is maybe build a portion of the Southern Canal once. Yeah. Just for
your own entertainment.
Yeah, that was crazy entertainment, man. building this 1K.
I don't understand how some people gain enjoyment from like digging highways or like repairing the Southern Canal. It's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, shout
out to Enigma. Talked about this many times, bro. If they find their enjoyment with that, I guess it's fine. Yeah. I'm just like, for me, I look at this and I'm like, you're paying $20 a month and you're donating your account for the infrastructure of the infamous TBTD. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, mom, if that's what you want to do, I guess so. That's what you do.
Power to you,
yeah. But again, that is what I really want to do. Or I really want to try, and I've set myself like an end to all of this. Actually,
do you think there will be an end? Do you think you'll ever be satisfied?
If I will ever be satisfied?
Yeah. With what you've done on 2B, or will it always be, I want to do this, I want to do the next thing?
Difficult. I'm old. I'm not old. I'm not like 50, but I'm 22. I've turned 22 in May. And the older you get, your responsibilities change, basically, and other stuff becomes way more important in life, and just from that, I think obviously I won't be able to spend that much time on 2B anymore, or on projects in general. So I really want to do this one last thing that I have in my mind right now, which is like probably one of the biggest things. I would even say one of the most influential things. I really want to try and do that and see how it goes. And I don't want it to be I don't want it to be taken as a competition. I really just want to give. Like, I really want to give something to the community that people can do, that people can find enjoyment in, and not be like, look, we have this thing now, and this is the new competition. You need to try and be better than us, or like blah 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 blah. I just want, to provide people with something that can be very enjoyable.
And you're referring to the private group when you're talking about this, right?
The project that the private group.
The project that the private group. Can you say whether that's a build, an exploit, or is it just completely private? You're not allowed to say.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's like 90. It's like maybe 10% in game, maybe 20.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's this. Yeah. It's as I said. It's really something. How do I say this?
Is it like a 2B2T private group where you have to come to specific IRL coordinates to fucking find a post-it note with like the Discord link?
It's a good idea. I might write that down. But
integrate 2B into IRL. Yeah.
No, it's different. It's also not something I said it will be completely game changing, and that is true. But it's not something completely something that hasn't that no one knows anything about. It is somewhat prominent even in the community. But so in the 2B community or in Minecraft in general, there are so many things that have so much potential, but it's not really being like
exploited,
used on 2B, or like used to its fullest potential, right?
What are you talking about? Game mechanics?
Yes, for example.
Okay.
Right? And that is basically what we're working on. And I really wanna do that. And honestly, if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well.
At least you've tried.
And I think after that, I'm done.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think after that, I'm done. I will obviously be like come here and there to like build database.
And you still have all your friends that you've accumulated over time.
Surely you can never really quit now. Like actually not.
Once you've got friends on 2B, you're done. You're not quitting.
It's not happening.
Well, no, you are quitting, but you can't quit the community. Well, I don't know.
One is always connected with the other. Then
sure. Yeah.
It just needs one guy in the group to.
Because your friend will have a friend that has a friend who loves playing 2B.
Yeah,
and that'll,
exactly. And then again, I'm in so many Discord servers still, 2B related Discord servers. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's fine. But again, I really want to try this one. I want to see how it goes. I hope that people will like it. Will actually like it a lot. And it's a all or nothing project. So either people like it and use it and enjoy it.
Use it.
And
Hack client maybe.
And on top, yes, the Baki client is finally coming. I'll get all of the base coordinates now. But so either that or no one gives a shit, which is also fine. And we will probably still provide that service.
Right.
Dude, I'm giving more and more hints. It's fucking crazy. But
getting you hyped. Yeah.
Again, if it doesn't pop off, nothing will happen. If it does pop off, you can bet that I will expand on this heavily.
Right.
Just
okay.
So
you'll get it to the pot. You maximize it basically.
Yes, just like I did with II. Basically. It will be the same size or bigger than II, just like in a different field. Yeah, definitely. I will try at least, right? But we will see. Anything can happen. I don't know yet. Everything's open.
So I think you've kind of already sort of answered this, and just from what you've been saying, but I want to ask, have your goals on 2B2T always been the same, or have they shifted over time?
Oh, shifted all the time, right?
Constantly shifting, huh?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, now I'm more like, chill about things. I don't have... The thing is, I'm not responsible for anyone anymore, right? Like, I'm not responsible for like 200 people and someone fucking up. And
do you miss that at all?
It was fun, but no, I don't miss it.
Okay,
I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. You could just get blamed for anything, like even if you didn't do the exchange.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
there was an initial question. There was an initial question, Dick. We always we
too quick. That's good. That's a good thing, though. It means we're flowing naturally, and that's what.
Yes, you're too quick. I didn't answer it. Well, I don't.
Was it the question? Oh, yeah, it was a question about, do you ever see yourself like ending? Like, what's the end point for you? And you've answered that.
Yeah, I think I think it was more like.
Or what keeps you coming back?
No, we already had that.
Yeah.
I swear that, but just keep on going. Maybe I'll.
Yeah. So you were in our little break. You were kind of telling me that you want to talk about the disbandment of II. So I think it's finally time to move on to that, to come full circle, because we talked about the rise and we talked about the peak. So why did II disband?
Yeah, we forgot about that. But that's very important.
Yeah,
a lot of people say it was because of.
Why did II disband?
Yeah, so a lot of people still think it's because of the drama that went down back then, and I can very confidently tell everyone that is not the case. So the II disbanded in It was not August. What comes after August, Dick? Come on, help me out.
September,
What comes
bro.
after August? Exactly, man. So in September, I think. So it was 2 years, 2 years and 1 month in total, and that was September of 2021. And all my close goons, all of the people know that I said 1st of January, literally, right, the beginning of 2021, I will disband this group this year, right?
Oh, okay.
So from the beginning of 2021, it was very clear to me that I have to disband the group. I have to. I am forced to do it.
Was that because of university, September?
Yes. Because I was a job, and a lot of people will laugh about that shit.
It's true, man.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Right? They can laugh about it, but it was a job. It was a full-time job.
When you do it,
yeah, it was ridiculous, and I didn't even get paid for it, man. That's the worst shit.
You got paid in clout.
Yes, exactly. But so I told everyone I will have to quit. I had major exams coming up towards the end of the year, or not even towards the end of it, like the third. What was it called? Whatever. In that year, I had in that year I had major exams coming up. I was super fucking busy, and it was not gonna happen. I said it's like that's the only reasonable thing to do. We need to disband this year. After that, we will just do bookhood stuff. It's over from here on, right? And then we did the first project, and in January, which was rebuilding the lava curtain, which was very annoying, but also it was cool. Then we did Secret Void, and
this is all 2021, right?
Yeah, that's 2021.
Okay, yeah.
And there's already some drama going on at that time, but
and this is during summer, sorry.
Yeah, almost.
Okay,
it was
right,
April,
cool.
actually.
Right, sure.
We can talk more maybe about the drama later, but just to wrap this one up real quick.
Sure.
So we did Secret Void, and originally I wanted to end it there. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted Fit to say in the end of that video, this is the end of the Infinity Incursion, right? This is the end. We have achieved everything, because my plan, like my main plan for II was fulfilled. I wanted to build something that you can use whenever an incursion is needed, to make sure that no one can escape spawn, or like 99.9% can't escape spawn, right? And with Secret Void, it was complete. So you had the water cube, which would like drag out the new friends to go beyond the 500 range of spawn, right? Then you had the lava curtain at 2k, which would keep them in between the 2000 and 500 range, right? So they would, if they would want to go to a nether portal, they would necessarily have to go in a nether portal in that range, right? Then they would go in there, and they would either get trapped at spawn, or they would find themselves on one of the main highways, right? So, and to escape, they would have to go down one of the 8 main highways. And this is where then the Secret Void project came into play. So if you actually put people on the highways, there is no way for them to escape, right? They might be lucky and land on the floor, but then if they're on the floor in the nether, they would have to get up again. So this was the main plan that I had like since the beginning of II, right? So it was complete. I was done with all of that stuff, but it didn't happen, and I'm very not sad, but I'm very disappointed that in myself actually that I didn't end it there, because Redstone, because we were still on a peak, right? We were still the biggest group, like super crazy dynamics, like bro, I was in a VC with the homie Imams back then, and he said, don't worry homie, I will never release that, but he said that for a long time he was even envious of the standing that we had at that time, which for me, I wasn't even making fun of it. Also, I was really respecting that he said that back then. That actually, like that That
when
really meant
IMEMS
a lot.
admits something like that, you know. it's
Yes, he
genuine.
never does that.
Yeah,
He would never fucking do it.
Like,
I haven't talked to that guy in so long, right? But like,
Mhm.
you know him yourself. Like, he would never.
It's
say
like
that.
something you said on your last podcast a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago. You said when IMEM says sorry, he means he's sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
So exactly. And so when he said that thing, I was like, wow, that's crazy. And so, but I didn't do it. I didn't disband, and I don't want to blame Redstone on all of it. But what's he gonna do about it?
Fuck you,
No,
Redstone.
I'm sure with the homie Redstone, it's all fine. But he really wanted to expand the water cube again, right? Like initially to the 1,000 range, then we kind of put it down to 750. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not disbanding. I said to Fit, we will call it Infinity Incorporated from now on. So this is where all of this came from.
So the
right?
incursion ends.
Yeah, and the incursion ended. Infinity Incursion ended. So you had the Infinity Incursion with 5 major super successful projects. You had the symbol, the curtain, the water cube, the fucking obby sky, and the secret void, the nether excavation thing. 5 beautiful projects, incredibly, so much fun, right? Incredible stuff. And then you had Infinity Incorporated, and I was like, okay, whatever's happening with that, okay, right? Unfortunately, that was really naive of me. It was really naive of me to think that people would be like, oh wow, this is not the Infinity Incursion anymore. This is Infinity Incorporated. It's a completely different thing. So that was super naive of me. Then we did the water cube expansion. Redstone did not have the time to help with that full time. So it was also a bit bigger even. The people fucking with us wasn't necessarily the problem. It was more like I was too exhausted. I was at the end. I had to focus on uni. I had to take major exams. I had no time for this anymore. So we could never finish the water cube expansion.
And I know that how much that, like, it sounds laughy to say, but how much that hurts you, because I remember speaking to you years ago, and you saying how your biggest fear for II was the fact that it would fizzle out and disband that way. You've always wanted it to end on a bang, and it's I'm sure it's sad that it didn't happen like that.
Yes, and that was something even to this day. I mean, honestly, I don't care that much anymore. It should happen, right?
It's a Minecraft server.
Yeah, it's a Minecraft server, exactly. But it's unfortunate. I would have liked for it to go after Secret Void, but that's how it is. And the result of that was so much drama, so much drama. Never been seen before. At least, I've never seen anything like that before. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. But who knows? Maybe one day the expansion will be finished. Who knows, man?
So a minute ago you were giving a summary of the projects, like how the water cube will force them to be 500 out, the love curtain will keep them within 2k, blah 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 blah. Do you actually, or did you actually believe those things? And believe that they were doing what... Oh, I just logged off. And you believe that they were doing what they were built to do? Or did you always know that, it's just a story, we're just telling a story for Fit, and we're just giving the people involved a story to make them motivated to work on this project?
So... when we built the water cube, you could not spawn in the water. So you could not drown, right?
Sure.
So we all knew that this is not killing anyone, right? I did believe that no one can easily build nether portals anymore in the water cube itself, right?
Sure.
And new people would not be able to swim there because they would most likely drown. And I surely did believe, especially during lava curtain and secret void, that it has it does have a meaning, it does have an effect. However,
only in the short term though, whilst it's being contained.
Yes, and I had to say, and there were people bashing me for that, but those are like the literally like fucking 60 IQ people, right? If you want this to work out, you need to actively maintain it. The lava curtain needs to be maintained. Not the water cube. I mean, you won't be able to get rid of that bitch. But the nether highways, like the fucking secret void, there's like little bridges and stuff you need to get rid of. For the entire secret void to work, you need people, so it needs to be maintained around the clock for it to work. But I guess, sure, I did believe, and I still believe, if you use these things, you can have a impact on people trying to escape spawn. Yes.
So you'd argue the point that your projects practically do nothing with the fact that no, we've provided the infrastructure for players in the future to easily stop newfags from escaping.
Yes, you need to use them. You can't just it's not like they're there and because a water cube exists, the queue gets lower, or like there's less people are being able to escape spawn. That's bullshit.
But they're tools to achieve.
That never even came to my mind, because I was like, no one can be so retarded to actually think that, right? It turns out so many people do.
I mean, that's the story Fitmc painted. That's kind of the whole...
Yeah, that was maybe something there was actually something I really messed up to explain to him, that it needs to be maintained. Like, if you don't maintain it, nothing's gonna happen.
And even when it was being maintained, people were, when you have a group of people fixing something, there's always going to be a group of people breaking something, and that it was just like that for the lava. I think even like some BSB members were actively trying to break it.
Yours was.
Yours.
I really pissed on that, but yeah, sure, and you see how easy it was, even like to fuck with it.
Even with the special design you guys built, it was just easy to grieve.
Yeah. That got patched later on, God bless, so there's still parts of it up. But, for sure. But sure, I did believe that it made spawn more difficult to escape, at least for the time we maintained it.
Being maintained, yeah. Okay, that's fair enough, yeah. So, let's get to the... what some people would consider the juice. I want you to give us a TLDR on the retarded ass pedo drama, and also the effects of it.
I need to take a big sip for that. I expect a lot of people I expect a lot of people to... How do you say that shit? For me to talk about that?
Yeah. People expect you to talk about it. Or
yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry.
Because it's kind of from an outsider looking into the community, that being the last big thing you've associated with in terms of drama, that's kind of what people associate. Like when you say Bucky, the whole meme is, Bucky pedo. Like that's what everyone says, that's what everyone thinks, because it was the last thing that happened, right?
Okay. Let's because I think this is a very sensitive topic, and I think it's also very important to talk about. Before I joined this VC, we talked a couple of days before this that this needs to be talked about. It is very important, but it's also very important how you talk about it.
Yeah.
So maybe a quick summary would be important here, of what really happened, right? So there was a guy in II that a lot of people are familiar with under the name of Ghost Mafia. And he was, I think that was in April 2021, he was sending pictures of a underage girl into T-Chat. And those pictures, and again, Dick, I won't be a douchebag about it, but if I'm telling the whole story, I'm telling the whole story, right?
Yep.
Those pictures, and you might know even more about that.
I know exactly what you're about to say.
Yeah, those pictures originated from BSB, from a chat that this person, which I'm not gonna say for privacy reasons, I'm not gonna say that person's name, but she was in a VC with like two other, very well known.
You can name Solar and Hammer. You can name
Solar and Hammer in the BSB VC, and this is where this image came from originally, right? And horrible thing without a question. And so a lot of people, that's how the 2B community is, unfortunately. A lot of people were memeing that, and some people were posting that. So there was this guy in II called Mafia who was posting that in chat, And later on, that got reported to me by a couple people, and I was like, I'm in constant defense mode when it comes to II drama, right? Like people accuse someone of something, you're not gonna answer it, or you're just gonna like call them shit, and like that's how the 2B community is, right? So they tell me about that, and I'm like, that didn't happen. Shut the right? Like, I didn't even know anything about the BSB stuff that has happened in BSB in the first place. But then I see that this entire topic becomes very prominent. And I was confused because I learned about that this is from originally from BSB, and no one was trashing you guys for it. Like I didn't see anyone like saying anything, this is from their shit, or like people in that group, or like whatever. I didn't see it. So I was like, these people are just trashing me or trying to make some shit up in the most disgusting way, right? But it got more and more prominent, and I asked the guy then if he did send that, right? And he said, no, I did not send these pictures, these like Discord link pictures in chat. And I was like, all right, we have to investigate that later on.
Yeah. So did you kill someone? Like, no.
Because that's the thing. What are you doing? Like, Dig, you have some random name me some guy in BSB.
Document.
Okay. That guy's in BSB. Are you retarded? The fuck?
Wait, you did not? Okay, sure.
All right. Anyway, I say Document is a pedo, right? I tell you that right now.
Yeah.
What will you do? Will you go and kick him immediately?
No.
Or will you try and look, or like ask me, look into it? Why am I saying these things?
It took me seeing proof, like literal proof, that Hammer and Solar were pedophiles to ban Hammer and Solar.
Yes, exactly. But that is a thing that is so much different in the culture, even in the culture, that this is something I had to learn about. In the American culture, even, where when those accusations come to the light, like no one wants to be associated with that. So what Americans will do without like hesitation, they will ban people. There's no questions asked, right?
Right.
But like I feel like Europeans, I hope this is not racist in any way, but that's just my feeling, my perception of this. They will at least try and like ask for proof, and like because like that way you can just ask people. Yeah, you will ask for logical proof, right? You will ask like, why did this person do this? So I did that. I tried gaining actual proof. So I asked Iron Exception, for example, how we can find out if he actually did that. Because Ghost Mafia claimed back then that this was an alt account. So he's a PvPer, right?
Yeah.
And PvPers share their accounts, so they PvP on different, like those PvP servers, Anarchy PvP servers. They share their accounts, and he was like, it wasn't me on their account. Someone else sent that, and I was like, okay. But you can actually look into the logs. So everyone has those Minecraft logs, and you can see from the day if they logged in that day, right?
Sure.
And he was claiming that he didn't. So Ian told me that I can look into this, and that's what we tried doing. But first of all, he said, no, I didn't send Baki. I did not send this. I wouldn't, do that. I was like, okay. So the issue is that I dealt with this situation horribly, in the most like in the worst way possible. Because what would any reasonable person do? They would just like keep it on the low, try and investigate. Or keep it on the low, or maybe investigate first and then ban them, or just ban them straight away.
Once you have proof.
But what I did is I had this 4,000 Discord Discord server called II, and I renamed it to the fucking FBI and pinged everyone and said they got us. So that was not a good way to deal with that, right? That was not a good way.
You can turn most drama into a meme. Shit like that, it just leaves a bad taste.
It's not happening.
No,
it's not happening. It's not fucking happening. And but I didn't know that. Because here in Germany it's different, right? It's more, also it's even more part of the dark humor culture here to say maybe things like that.
Yeah.
In fucking America, you won't find that. You will not find that shit. So I was like, the 2B community, they make jokes about everything. They make jokes about Jews, black people, minorities, like all of that shit.
Mhm.
When it comes to that thing, bro, everyone will go out of their way, right? Like not there's no one knows any fucking jokes about that shit.
Yeah.
And now today I would say yes, I can understand that because I don't make any of these like jokes anymore, like of any kind. So I dealt very bad with it. I renamed the II Discord server to FBI and said like blah 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 that shit. And then he was, I think how it went, it was he was refusing to send the chat logs, and then I think Austin or Joey, I'm not quite sure, they sent like some more stuff, blah 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 blah. And turns out he actually did send that. So what we did immediately after that, we banned him. So you have one retarded guy less in the group, but you have your entire rep ruined in one day.
Because everyone associates you with that person.
Yeah. In one day. And I talked about this with Emperor. Because, dude, even back then I talked about this with Lotus. And you will see this with every leader, with every single leader in this community. There's no exception. There won't be an exception. Everyone will get called a pedophile at least.
Of course, yeah.
So with Emperor, it was even bigger, right? It was a massive fucking thing with Emperor. It was a
multiple of his members got outed. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because and this is the fucked up thing about this community. Minecraft is a game for a younger audience.
Full of kids, yeah.
Period. Sure, you can tell me there's a lot of older people playing. Sure, yeah, 100%.
But on average, it's younger people.
But on average, it's a younger audience, and it attracts these type of people, right? It attracts these type of people that are involved in very illegal activities.
Well, I'd say it's more the edgy nature of 2B attracts the incel pedophiles.
And that. So you have these people, but how can you tell? You can't. You simply can't, right? The only thing that you have to do when you're a leader is to figure out how to deal with it properly, right? And if you can't do that, then you're fucked. And I did not deal with that properly. And it gets even worse from here on, right? Because if we would have left off all of this there, I don't think it would have been that bad. But the bad shit was that we did then later on, after he was banned, after everything somewhat settled down, right? We did the Watercube expansion, as I said. And Redstoner wanted to make the project completely publicly accessible. Meaning, usually, for the people that don't know, II projects were always private. Only members could participate in them. But this time we made it so you had a reaction role that people could click and get a rank in the Discord server, right? Immediately. And have access to all project channels and all of that shit. And that comes from the nature of the Watercube project. It just simply doesn't matter. Like, people can try and fuck with us. Like, no one cares, basically, right? So we wanted to have it very chaotic so everyone could participate. And as I said, like, later on, 700 people reacted to that message and had the Watercube project role, right? And one of these people was Ghost Mafia. And this is the next mistake that I made. He messaged me and he said he still wants to be in the community and do shit. And he fucked up really bad there. Like, that's what he said. And then I did something, and back then I thought, because this was just like my moral compass, really. If someone fucks up, I give them 3 options. Like, no matter what, you can do whatever. I will give you 3 options. And that was not a good idea.
That's not a good idea.
Because in that case, I should have just said, I don't give a shit what you're saying.
Yeah.
Leave my fucking DMs. But I didn't, because I was trying to be nice, right? Like, it's not even that. I was just telling the same stuff that I would tell everyone. Like, I'm not making really exceptions there.
Yeah.
So I say you have 3 options. You can apologize to the community, to like everyone, and maybe people will accept it and you will be able to, like, play, right? Second option, you just quit. You just completely fucking, quit everything. Maybe have a Discord account if you want to keep up with the community, or I don't know, watch Fit videos or Celtic One videos or whatever. And the third option is, and I'm not telling. I never told him do that. It's what I would tell anyone. If you really want to stay in this community, make a new persona, make a new Discord account, play on a new Minecraft account, and do that, right? Dude, now when I say this again, it's
hearing you say. I'm sure it's going to be the same for most people watching. It's just like, what the fuck were you thinking, bro?
Yes. But come on, if you're really realistic about this, right? Those are the three options that you have.
Oh yeah, of course. But you don't say that.
Yeah, I don't say that. Sure, I don't say that, and I have no idea why I said this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if anyone would ask me this in the past, this is what I would say. Like, no matter what, like, you know, this is always what I would say, dude. I could copy paste the text in the DMs, right?
Yeah.
Like, and in that moment, I was just like, because I also didn't care about it anymore. I was just sending it, and I was just like, yeah, take it. That's the information I give you, and this is what you can realistically do, though. Those are your options.
Of course. Nobody would argue that, and it's what a lot of people do end up doing on 2B. But it's just the fact that
that way,
like you're comparing bro sending fucking naughty pictures to like someone inciting a base. That's the problem. The fact that it's not the same level. And I get that you understand that now, but it's just that, you know, it's clear to see why everyone hated you for that.
Yeah, but I was in that fucking. Okay, first of all, I don't want to defend myself here anymore, right? Like, what I did there, I should not have done that, and that's very, very clear to me, and I would never, you know, do anything like that again. But this is what I said, and I'm in a rush. Like, I said this earlier. Like, I get 100 individual DMs. Like, you think I was sitting there,
of course,
like I was sitting there thinking about the person, Ghost Mafia, like, what is he gonna say, like, caring about him? No, I'm taking the fucking text from my shitty TXT and sent that to him, right? Because it's the same issue that other people, but for less, for not, you know, that type of problems. It was more like for what you said, griefing a base, for example.
Yeah.
So I did say that, and then it got even worse after that, and that's like the last really big thing where I messed up. Maybe not the last, but that's regarding that person.
Was this before or after, like, you told Fuzzy Russian to be like the anti-pedo guy, and you made a whole announcement and shit about your apology? Was this before this or after this?
No, that's a good question. I made an apology.
I mean, you made multiple apologies, but the main one was
I made one. No. I made
really?
one. I made one small one for the Ghost Mafia thing, like in April when it initially happened after we banned him, and then I made one because then it got really big. And that's the thing. I'm so sorry, Dick. I'm so sorry to say this, but I feel like no one gave a shit about what was happening in BSB with Harma and Solar.
That's because we weren't in the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly.
You were in the spotlight.
Exactly. You were not in the spotlight, but I was in the fucking spotlight of everyone. Like, dude, every day people were trying to find like the tiniest thing that they can fuck me with, right? Like when you're on the top and when you remain on the top for like months and months and months, and people will try and look for like any little mistake that you make and try and go crazy on you, right? And I did made a very big mistake there, and so the last thing regarding all of that was that now coming back to the Watercube, the public one project where you could react to the message to be part of that project. So he messaged me, he's gonna make that alt account, which I suggested, right? And I was like, I don't care.
Might as well give him roles.
No, I didn't give him. Again, I never gave him roles. He can give him the roles himself.
Oh yeah, because you react. Sorry.
Yeah. I was like, I said, like, if you want to, like, I said to him, if you want to, I can't stop you.
Yeah.
Because realistically, if he really wants to, he can make 10 Discord accounts and fucking react to that thing and then be part of the project. You can be a random fit friend, and that joined the Discord server from a video. Click on the reaction roll, and you're part of the project. And in that case, I was like, I rather want to know that it's him and be able to like see what he's doing and see that he's not saying any bullshit than having him on a random account where I don't have any control about what he says. I don't know if it's him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know any of that shit. So I was like, go for it. I can't stop you from doing it. That's the thing. Like, even if I say no, even if I ban you, it doesn't matter. You can just, and you make a Discord account in 10 seconds.
But the thing,
right?
that's just like the government giving you a step-by-step guide to how to get away with murder.
But
like, of course the method exists, but you don't endorse it, you know?
yeah, exactly. But for the public eye, what the public wanted me to say was,
fuck off.
Fuck off. I'm banning you right now.
Pedo, fuck off. Yeah.
So, and then he was even saying the alt account name, but of course I'm not remembering it when someone messages me a shitty alt account name. Again, there has the only person that has ever been in this position with like all the DMs where you speedrun this shit, and again you have fucking keybinds where you say Lamar and Keck. The only person is Emperor, maybe, right?
Oh, Emperor, okay, alright.
Who might know what it's like to have this influx of DMs. And bro, you just see this shit, you just skip through the shit, and I didn't give a fuck about that guy. I couldn't care, and even to this, I couldn't care less about that fucker, right? And so I'm just saying things, but I should have just said no, I'm banning you. But again, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100% real. Would have banned him, he would have joined on another account. That's how it is. That's how it is.
But that's not the problem. Like the pedo shit in itself.
Yeah. The problem is that I didn't 100% say no.
Yeah.
and then it got even worse. And okay, this is very controversial to say. This is very what I'm about to say is very controversial to say. Him sending these pictures was very bad. Very bad. However, he was not the only person to do that. There were plenty of other people who did that. There were even people who were selling these pictures or trying to sell these pictures.
Bro,
right?
That's an awful art. You can't just be like, oh, yeah, everyone else is doing it.
Yeah. It's completely
that's not an argument you can make.
Completely messed up. And it was bad. It was really bad. But, and this is very retarded to say, but it wasn't even the worst thing that happened. Because the worst thing that happened was after all of that, right? Because that was when he got token locked. And they, obviously they saw the chats with me, and everyone was like, okay, what the fuck? But they found chat logs of that guy with I don't think you say severely.
It was little kids, wasn't it? Like boys.
It was it was like some little boy, and I'm not even gonna say what he said there. Right? To this day, I didn't even look through it because I was so fucking disgusted by that. Right? I couldn't even look through any of that shit. But he was saying he was involved in real.
He was a pedophile, basically. He was a nonce.
In real pedophile actions, right? That went so far that they got the FBI involved and he got his computer taken away, right? And that is crossing not only one line, that is crossing several lines. That is beyond,
That's beyond the internet.
I think for a very long time. And this is what I talked about with. Oh no, I didn't talk about. It wasn't even a good conversation, but I talked about with your Walt. When iMemes knew about these things, iMemes was sending stuff. That's not even something. That's not something I'm making up or some shit.
What do you mean iMemes was sending stuff?
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not saying that he was sending like fucking illegal images or some stuff. More like he endorsing or like making jokes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm fucking.
Yeah.
and nothing happened. Nothing happened at that time, really. And I'm not here to be a douche about it or anything. I'm sure that he, I think all of us who didn't really take actions there regret this in their own way, right? But all of this went down, and all you can really do is regret it heavily, make sure that this never happens again, right? And one thing I really learned from this, to be very careful about how you present yourself in any online community and in real life.
Yeah.
And there's so many instances on the server where I have not been careful. It's like perfect example. Besides that is the Jack book, right? That's like still the fucking biggest biggest meme, yeah. So, bro, I remember when I talked about this with, do you know Futzen or Futzen?
Yes, Futzen 1, yeah.
So he's thought of me like in the worst way for such a long time until we talked about this, and I thought that people would know about this, right? But this book, right? This book, do you know the history behind that book?
No, I just know it exists.
So for the people that don't know, it's a book where I say very that's signed by me, and where I say like very incriminating things, and usually how the story goes, at the start of every project, there were like a lot of people. First day, there's always a ton of people, like 30 people, right? And the first thing that they will do, and you might know this as well, Dick, I'm pretty sure you might know, the first thing they will do is throw a book at you.
Give books at you, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and some of them have some stuff pre-written in them.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you do?
I see where this is going.
What do you do?
You sign it, yeah.
Dude, you take a book, you sign it, and by signing, I don't mean you look at it. You just type in the name, press sign in fucking Ghostwriter, and then here, take it. Yeah. Next one.
Because people need to understand that when you're being thrown books by multiple people constantly, which it just gets AIDS, and you want to be nice to people, you want to give them their books. You don't read, like, you may think, oh, it's on the front page. Obviously, you're going to read that to make sure what you're signing is okay. Yeah. It's really easy not to, and just to go through, okay, you've dropped me a book and cool, click, sign, bosh.
Exactly.
You know.
I talk about this with so many... Dude, I talk about this with Herm back then. I talked about this with I think Austin back then, because they were very concerned about the book.
I'm sure.
Yeah, dude, you get 20 books, and the thing is, I don't say 20 books. That's not just a number I make up or some shit, bro. It was probably even more, honestly. There were 20 books in my fucking inventory. You just fucking sign them. Here you go. Let's go. Whatever. So he sends me. So the person, right? He sends me that book later on Discord, and I says, please don't send that to anyone. This is not okay. Like, please get rid of this book. If you respect me, you know what damage this book can do. If you respect me, don't do it. And then there was this meme. There was a guy in II called Seatbelt. And so the other guy was messaging me and said, ping Seatbelt stream or I will release the book. I'm not letting myself blackmail by some fucking 14-year-old. Who the fuck are you? Shut the fuck up, right? So nothing happens. And then the drama went down. And this guy is on the biggest fucking attention trip. So what does he do? Copies the fucking... Yeah. Copies the book, everyone has it, everyone
distributed everywhere, yeah.
So you have the Ghost Knocker shit, you have that shit, you have all of this shit coming together, and then you have this big massive drama, and everyone's like, and then again you have all the people that were already mad at you, not for any of this shit, but just for the stuff, for the sole point that you were in the spotlight for 2 years. So they will try and fucking go ham on you, like fucking.
It's crazy. Like in real. I think the main thing that went wrong with you is that you acknowledged it, and it's the same thing that celebrities experience in real life. Like, look at people like Shane Dawson and James Charles. When they initially get called out for something and they acknowledge it, that's when the real downfall begins, because then everyone starts looking. You know, they find the Jack book, they find the screenshots of you watching
they start
fucking
looking...
Molly or whatever the fuck.
That's the next thing. Bro, okay, wait, I want to get this straight, right? Real quick. I never, ever fucking streamed any of that shit. We were in my private VC Baki office, the infamous Baki office, and DigCast who is 18 years old, was streaming Nekopara, which is a hentai game with like cat girls and shit, right? Bro,
Right.
this is a game. It's, first of all, to all the retards out there, and I think everyone with some fucking brain understands this. The people that call me like pedo or some shit these days are the fucking, biggest degenerates of the server.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't see anyone that has some brain there like fucking calling me any of that seriously. But again, I'm making this very very clear here. This is a Steam game, right? This is a Steam game. No one on Steam, or like Steam would never sell any fucking games that would contain CP. Are you guys fucking retarded? Like, you would not find that shit there. So, next thing is, whoever joins that VC has the fucking key, right? Like, I don't drag people into that. You will fucking open DigCast stream and watch this shit, right? Next thing, I didn't even know that he was streaming it at the time. I was just turning in later because when you stream yourself and then you end the stream and then you have another stream like in that minimized tab, and you can hear the game sound and shit. And you hear, so I hear fucking cat girls going, moaning and shit. Yeah. And I'm like looking at them, DigCast, what are you playing, homie? And like, so that's how I learned about it. I thought it was funny, it was funny as fuck.
Yeah, of course.
And then people screenshot that and make up some random ages. Bro, they called DigCast, this is something we meme about to this day. They said that DigCast 12. And like everyone, and then some other people are 9 years old and we're playing, and I'm forcing people to stay in VC and watch him play fucking Nekopara, bro. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Yeah, These people were just trying so hard. But like, you had so many people like believing that and not trying to look into that. Cool. But yeah, it's there's like other factors, and as you said, like people are just digging up stuff and trying to find it. And to be completely honest to myself, there's also some books that I wrote to like my close friends that had jokes like that in the, not exactly like that, because the book that everyone's memeing is fucking extreme, right?
Yeah.
But those also exist. But they, so everyone.
I mean, you explained earlier, it's kind of germ. It's in your culture, it's not frowned upon as much.
And everyone gets all these people.
And I understand that as a person from the UK, where those kind of jokes are made commonly in schools, like all the time.
Yeah.
So I understand it, but obviously a lot of people won't, and it's
I think what I did not realize, and I hope this also does not sound arrogant or some stuff, but I was in a position. I was in a what is it called when people look up to you?
You were in a, like, not idol's too strong a word.
Yeah, not idol. Maybe idol, but it's, as you said, it's probably a bit too strong.
Just someone who influences people, like people.
Yeah, exactly. So like that people look up to. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't realize that, and I never wanted to be in that position, right? I never wanted to be like people look up to me and be like, bro, I want to do everything how Bachibachbach does it, right? But I certainly was in that decision, and in that position, and you do not have the choice. You either are in the position or you're not. You can't really decide that, and this is also something I feel like that a lot of like YouTuber influencers or like other big influencers have to face, that they are in that position, and they have to make a good example, right? And the moment I pinged everyone in the II Discord server and started playing down as this, haha, the FBI got us, blah, 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 that shit. It was telling people in that moment, oh, all of the stuff that he did wasn't that bad, And that is wrong. That is completely wrong. But I'm a shithead. I'm playing TBTT. I'm a fucking shithead. I say horrendous stuff. I used to say horrendous stuff in chat and like other media and stuff. So I just didn't give a shit. I never cared about. I never even thought about that there might be like some 13-year-old looking or 12-year looking, oh, it's Baki from the
From the
Fit
Fit
video,
videos.
and it's so cool, and he does all these like cool projects,
Mhm.
and to be so intriguing, such a nice server, and I want to be like him. And bro, I mean, to this day, you have you go on my name MC and you click on a custom made skin, and you have people using my skin. You have people even more back then, right? You have people impersonating me on Bedrock servers or like other stuff, other servers,
Yeah.
and I got so many people messaging me and saying, "Wow, you made this so fun for me," and all of that. But I didn't realize it at the time because I was just like, "This, I'm a dude that plays Minecraft," you know, like I'm not DigMC with over 20k subscribers, you know.
Of course.
I'm not a big guy in that sense, but apparently, yeah, apparently I was. So I gave a very bad example, and these days, I'm very careful. I don't say anything like that. If I say it only in private with like a person where I know that they will get a joke, right? I mean, it's not like I'm sitting there and spamming that shit, right?
Yeah.
But like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
for the occasion, right? And I'm careful. I'm very not even with that. I'm very careful with anything I say.
In some ways, that's a good lesson to be learned on 2B rather than
100%.
have it happen in real life.
Yeah, because what's gonna happen? Like no one's gonna fuck me over with that shit in real life. That's I mean, for my future employer, now you have it recorded in a podcast, right? I'm a very bad guy,
Yeah.
but I'm also I'm also reflecting on it, right? Like I'm not just saying, I'm not trying to defend myself anymore with like.
I should fucking hope not. Yeah.
Right. I'm acknowledging that this is not a.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing I did, but
you
like
did bad.
Yeah, but I'm not that guy. And the thing is, if I was that guy, no one would be with me. No sane person would be with me anymore. And even to this day, there's so many. Dude, there's so many people with me. And dude, you have all these high critics. You have like, dude, fucking here, awesome, Maxi Taxi, Bezo Paz, and right, those people that called like the fucking the shitters on me. That or Joey, dude, they messaged Fit, bro. They said the craziest shit and all of that, right?
Wow.
And they were trying to get me canceled. It was like their fucking job. I'm chill with all of them now. And they're great people, and I understand why they did it. I do understand what their concerns were, but I'm chill with all of them. Like I'm good with these people.
So do you think you're forgiven in the eyes of the 2BTT community?
That's only something that they can tell me directly. I had my talks with people like Austin. He's a super controversial person, I feel like.
Austin's interesting.
Yes. He is a very controversial person. He is hated by a lot of people. I had my interactions with him. I can say, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he does on 2B, but he is a fair person when it comes to when it came to my case, when it came to understanding this stuff. Like I don't care if this guy grieves like the fucking 100th Joey base or some shit, right? Or the fucking 100th Mason Lodge base or anything really. I don't that's fucked up. But like when it comes to this real important stuff, he is understanding. And sure, he went completely off the fucking rails when this first all became very prominent. But
don't blame him for it. It's fair enough.
And I respect them. Yeah. I respect them a lot. They someone like Austin apologized to me, which is you don't find that on TV, that someone apologizes to you. That's not that's not happening.
No. It's like Imans, when it happens, they mean it.
He did. Yeah, exactly. It's like Imans, yeah. He did. After talking to Joey, he also did. He said, I'm not saying he came, oh, Baki, I'm so sorry. Obviously not. He still says, what I did, how I dealt with the situation was incredibly wrong, which is true.
Yeah.
Again, which is true.
I think everyone thinks that. That's unanimous.
Okay, but but like, but he said like calling me out for that shit and calling me these things, it was not okay, and he apologized for that, which I respect.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, which is super, which I would have never thought.
No,
like,
neither.
Especially him, right? Like never.
Because I always I'm in the position where I think if you are calling someone out based on the evidence that was given at the time, that's completely like, you should be doing that. You should be calling out these people that are promoting or making a joke of, these topics. So that's interesting that he actually apologized for that.
You have Basil, who sometimes still makes jokes about it, but now I know that they are jokes. Right? He's like, he's trying to fuck with me a little bit, like when he says something in chat. But I'm like, dude, when we see later on, it's chill. It's like we're not fucking best buddies or some shit. He's a cool guy. I like.
You respect each other.
And same with Maxi. He said like, I'm fucking. I was fucking with you a bit there and shit, bit like over the top maybe. Okay. But
Yeah. All right. I think that's II full circle.
Dude, that's the big drama, right? I mean, I want to say that there's a couple more things there of more private nature that I cannot share because they have a lot of private information involved in them. But again, as of right now, you still have some of the retards that don't know anything about me, that know that I have the Joker skin.
What's the reputation?
The reputation overall is not that. It's not fucking crazy. It's not that there's still these people saying stuff.
No, it's definitely recovered, but it's still tainted.
But I don't care. That's the thing anymore. Like I'm not in the position to care anymore, bro. Did you think I haven't heard any of this like 100 times or some shit? Like I don't give a fuck anymore. They can say whatever. If anyone has fucking evidence on anything, bro, fucking print it out and like put it in a frame on your wall or some shit. Like
now you're asking people to dig.
Do it. Go for it. I have nothing to hide. That's the thing. I have nothing. There's nothing to hide. I can very confidently say this, and dude, go for it. But like I don't care. People can say what they can say. I stopped caring about the community a long time ago, all about that part of the community, and it only does harm to you. Being part of the big community here, it just fucks with you. Like honestly.
Well, you can't say that. Being part of the big community is what gave you your rise.
That's what gave me my reputation. Dude, people in fucking, I don't know, like, people will always join the server, see the fucking water cube and be like, who the fuck did that? You can't deny that shit. That's there. But I don't, that reputation is not important to me anymore. It was very important to me for a very long time. But it's definitely not anymore. And people say what they want to say. I'm fucking 22 now. I joined the server when I was 17. I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, let them say what they want to say. I'm with my friends. I'm with the people.
You're having a good time. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'm literally just having good. And if someone says something,
whatever. Yeah. Okay, so of course hindsight is 2020, right? And we've just talked about the kind of fall of II, the pedo stuff, the continuing with projects, like even like not ending when you wanted to end. So if you were to join 2B2T again today, knowing everything that you've learned in your past time on 2B2T, do you think you will be more successful than you have been, this time? Or will you be less successful, or you do the same shit?
You mean with all the knowledge that I have now?
Yeah.
Bro, I would be fucking depressed.
Oh, okay.
I would be fucking depressed. Bro, the only reason why I met these incredible people that I'm with now is because of II. And I know that if I wanted to get them back into my life, as I can't express how much these people mean to me. Dude, these people made me fucking cry on my birthday. You know what they did? They made a fucking 2x2 map art saying like "Happy Birthday, Baki" with like Angela Merkel on it and shit. And there was like an area near spawn with like a statue of my skin that was bald. and a mini version of the water cube, mini version of the sky and the lava curtain and all of that. And I you know, these people mean so. Dude, I get fucking goosebumps talking about this. These people mean so much to me, and I just thinking about how I would have to sit through all of this bullshit again to meet these fuckers again, man.
Yeah, you've done it once, you don't want to do it again, basically.
Dude, never. Fuck that. Hell no. Right. I would have done things better. I would have obviously taken care of the other stuff, but like, it would be a great power for sure. I mean, you would know about anything dude, you would know about chords of like fucking Mu Megabase.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Like you know so much. You could have been in parts of the community and done the same stuff, and it would have made stuff maybe even easier, right?
So we spoke quite a bit earlier about how the 2B2T community's changed. So what would you say? Let's say Bucky V2, a completely different person, obviously, but another, you know, in his prime 17-year-old German kid joins 2B2T from a Fitmc video this time with a goal of he wants to become one of the most influential players. He wants to do something that's lasts forever. He wants to lead a big group. What challenges will he face in today's 2B2T that are different to the challenges that you faced when you did it? And will it be harder or easier?
Wow, that's a very good question. You did think of those questions, did you?
Yeah, like, no, that was one I planned.
Yeah, you didn't just like come up with
No. That's a question I planned earlier.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. That's a good one. Bro, you want me to give a blueprint, really, right?
Sure, go for it.
You really want me to give a blueprint here for someone? All right. To whoever is listening to this, who's new to 2B2T, this is
your notepads out, boys.
This is the Bachibachbach blueprint, and I will guarantee you, even me saying this right now, it still takes a lot to do it, right? But even me saying this right now, you can benefit from that. You can get shit started with this 100%, right? So the main skill that you need when you join nowadays, and even when you joined like back then, is you need to be able to observe. Like you need to be able to understand what's going on in the community without being part of the community. And that sounds fucking larpy and goofy, but you really need to get a feeling for how the community works, what like parts of the community exist, and by parts I mean groups, like projects or relations. Like you need to know if this one guy is chill with the other guy. You just need to understand how dynamics between people in the community, right? That's the very first thing. And then from there on, if you really understand how that works, it's somewhat simple even. Because imagine trying to figure out right now if let's say you and dude, fuck do I know, Oftopia, right? You and Oftopia. Let's imagine trying to figure out if you guys have any connection, if you're cool with each other, if you have a connection that's more secret, if you know what is the relation, right? Imagine trying to figure that out, and you try and do that with a lot of people, and that's how you try and understand how the community works. And this sounds very like weird and when you first hear it, but once you understand how the community works, you can try and take these parts of the community and get something started. So the question is, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What is your goal, right? is your goal to explore the server real quick and like check out the spawner and be like, wow, everything is so
I
destroyed?
mean, in my question, I said same ambitions as you, basically.
Okay, same ambitions as me. So what you do, once you understand this shit, you make a Discord server. You learn about Discord, right? A lot of people have no idea how to set up a nice Discord server. That's the first thing. The next thing you do, everything that you need is already there. Everything you need is already there. The only thing that makes it a problem is that you need to get to know the people again. So what I would do if I was new, I would expand the water cube.
Oh my god.
Because wait, think about it. The last stand on the water cube is it has failed. The expansion has failed, right? What no one's talking about is that the most difficult part of the water cube has already been done, which is making the 2 corner water cubes, right? So you have a 750 water cube corner, and you have a negative 750 water cube corner. And they're already done. So you don't even need ice. All you need to do is you need to break cobblestone, and then the water cube will expand, right?
So they're just waiting to be expanded.
Yeah, it's just waiting to be expanded, dude. This year, I'm doing it. Not okay. But like, it's so easy to do that. And again, no one has anything to do right now. No, dude, everyone is waiting. People message me, when are we doing something? For like, do you remember the Bookhood minigame space we made at Keyboards? Maybe you know that one?
Oh, I wasn't playing during that.
Oh, okay. So we made like 80 people minigame space, and then after that went down, it was super cool. A lot of fun. People asked, well, what now? What are we doing? So people want to do shit. So what you do is you expand that shit. You take you take a couple of Elder Guardians, which can be fun to move if you have the right people. You move them into the water cube, and you laugh about having expanded the water cube. And during this entire project, you meet people that you can do new projects with, right? So you have this possibility right now to build this base for a new group, for a new group of people that you can have a nice time with by just finishing the expansion of the water cube, right? Not saying that I would literally fucking claim the credit for that, but that's what I would do. That's unironically what I would do. So that's how I would build up the next group. Yeah.
So as part of the question I asked, I said what different challenges would be associated with doing something, or would be encountered by doing something like that rather than 2020. So when it comes down to actually getting people, because obviously you were in the perfect scenario, everything was going perfect. You had COVID, right? Everyone had time. It was so easy to get people on board. And once you did the first project, everyone from Fitmc was like, yes, there's a motive. I want to be in. I want to contribute to the next Fit video, basically. So obviously nowadays you don't have COVID. People's time is actually worth more than it was in 2020. It might be harder. Obviously you're a new fag, right? You're not known. There's no benefit to being associated with you, and there's no benefit to helping you, as opposed to how it was with you back in 2020, when obviously I'm helping Bachibachbach, I might get recognized, cool, blah blah blah. So what, like, how do you, I mean, you did it yourself when you first started II. How do you get people to want to do something like that, and how do you make them agree that they're doing it for, I don't know, like how would you make... I know you know what I'm asking. How would you make them...
Do you mean at one point I was also just like fucking no, but I was like the guy, the main G from BSB.
Yeah.
Bro, this is a very hidden technique. I don't know if I want to tell that.
Yeah, bro, spill the beans. Come on.
I will spill the beans. There is a certain type of skill that I've acquired over the years now. But there's a certain type of skill set that if you have that, it's very, very influential. The art of pretending. The art of pretending to be someone, right?
Okay.
That's something incredibly powerful. And that is essentially what I did back then with Infinity Incursion, right? So I was good with Jared. We did a bunch of shit. And Jared was a name, right? Like, and he still is a name. Like, you would say Jared 2013. People, whether they associate him with good stuff or bad stuff, that's a different thing. But he's still a big name, right? So what I did back then, and what you can still do to this day, is pretend to be cool with people, or like to be close with people that are very influential when you're really not, right? The difficult part about it is that you have to bring a bit of truth into that story, right? So I was saying I'm best friends with Jared. We done so much shit and stuff, and I'm not gonna elaborate exactly on what I also said back then, but you say these things, and there is a bit of truth to that, but you can obviously exaggerate that. So, and in that moment, you make yourself important when you're really not, right? What you do though is you take this part of pretending, and then you feed it with something that you've actually done. So I did take this part back then, and again, you can still do that today, of pretending to be someone, and then do an actual project or whatever, right? To actually feed that that illusion or persona that you've built up for yourself. And you do that again. That's why I was talking so much about the water cube, not because I think it's the greatest project ever or some shit, but it's easy to achieve. And you have something to show. You're the guy that finished the 750 water cube expansion, So that's what you can do. And I'm sure if you get a bit more creative than I am right now about this, there's like other scenarios where you can pull off the same, a similar thing.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that. That's, yeah.
It's a very dirty thing to do.
Well, I mean, it's essentially fake it till you make it, right?
Dude, whatever helps you. You got to be smart about things on 2B. Nothing is, dude. No, it's so easy to get started. I did the same thing. You can't just pull off II like out of thin air. You need the base. Dude. Even me being in BSB back then was beneficial for that, because people already knew me. I knew people. That's even more important, right?
Yeah.
I knew people back then. And
so would you say build connections as a new fag initially is a very good strategy?
Yes, but getting there, building the connections, super difficult. If you don't have any great skills, for example, let's say you're not the best builder, you're not a great builder or some shit, right? You will easily get recognition if you build something incredibly nice and post it on the Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Dude, if you can build like Crowbar, and you post that shit good. On the fucking
instant
Reddit.
invite to the Spawn Masons. You're
fine, also that, right? And then you can do whatever, right? But you need to bring some type of skill, and it's
you need to provide something of value to other people, basically.
Yeah, I'm interested. Actually, I'm interested. I don't want you to like fucking dick ride me or some shit. I really want to know what you would think. What is this? What is the skill? What is like the appeal? Or what was the appeal? Why do you think that people joined like II back
then? Sense of purpose, sense of watching a fit video, being like, oh my god, that's fucking sick. I want to be involved in the next thing. So
even before that, think about it. Like the lava curtain was in like May or June, but the
people just want something to do. Like essentially, people just want a cause. Like, it doesn't matter who's leading it, as long as they're not... I think the worst thing as a group leader you can do is be a prick to your members. The best thing you want to do is be nice as possible. Like, being nice to people is a fucking cheat code on 2B, by the way. Like, if you're kind and just like... It sounds so dumb, like something your mum would say, but say please, say thank you, say fucking like, hi, how's it going? Don't be annoying. If you become annoying, you'll be known for being annoying. So you kind of want to find the right balance to being nice to people, but don't be intruding. But then you have to be intruding enough to get your name into like people's brains. So it's quite hard to find. It just requires time. You just need to be nice to people, help out with things if you can. That's easier said than done, because like you can't just type in chat, hey, can I help with a project, and someone's going to DM you. No, you just have to hang around. Like, it's 2B2T is a social game essentially, and
it is.
You just need to know that everyone before
you get what you give.
Before friendships are built, because obviously once friendships are built, then friendships are a motivator to do things. But before friendships are built, clout's a big motivator, and material wealth, so like items and shit for newfags, that's a massive motivator. And I think a lot of groups have profited greatly off from that in the past by, hey, come do this for us, we'll give you shulker boxes, stuff like that. I think clout. I mean, clout's the currency of 2B2T. I think that is definitely the main one.
The core essence of this entire community is clout.
Yeah.
I said this earlier. There will be people saying, "Oh, I don't care. I want to build it like millions out," and shit. It doesn't matter. The majority of this community wants clout. That's how it is. That's how.
And if you are a builder and you say clout doesn't run 2B2T, okay, you're a builder. You're building so that people recognize you and invite you to their bases. And it's not even that. The reason they're inviting you to their bases is because when their base gets grief, they get to put it on the Reddit and say, "Oi, look at our base, clout." That's why.
And I really want to say this, Dick. I really want to say this. It's not a bad thing. It's okay. It's okay. People live to get recognized for what they are doing.
Of course, we're social creatures.
Yes. You're working at your fucking 9 to 5 because you're fucking making money, no shit. But you also, when you're doing well at your job, when the things that you're doing well at your job are actually very, good, you want to be recognized for that. And that's the most normal human thing that's out there, to being bro. When you work out at the gym every fucking 5 times a week, 1.5 hours, and you just look fucking good. You want people to say, "Wow, you look fucking aesthetic. You look incredible." And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. It becomes a problem when you make that the only purpose of every single action you take.
And I mean, everyone has a different level of how important that is, because obviously there are some people, I don't want to say like Crowbar because I don't know him personally, so I have no idea what he's like. But I get the feeling that him expressing himself in the form of art on 2B2T isn't so much for clout. I'm sure he enjoys the attention that builds get, and I'm sure he enjoys the praise and the respect gained from other people, which of course, who fuck it, that's respectable, right? But I think he's more driven by the fact that his own creativity and his own personal satisfaction from doing it. So I think everyone has different levels of how much they gain enjoyment from clout, right? But it's essentially present in most people, and it's kind of the driving force behind everything on 2B2T,
Definitely. And some people take it to the extreme, and some people just don't care at all. And some people are most of the people are something in between. So yeah.
Fuck. Okay. That's I think that's going to be a really good thing to end on. Just the kind of conclusion that 2v2t it's a social game, it's a clout game. I'm just scrolling through my topics right now and seeing.
So if you have anything, I enjoy this so much.
Oh yes, okay. So the first one, which I can't believe I've missed, is how has 2b2t affected you as a person? Has it had a negative impact or a positive net impact on your life?
Wow, that's a good question. 2b2t and its community has been a big part of my life actually for 4 years now, right? And I would say, to answer the question straight away, I would say it had a positive impact on my life. I can see though when it has a negative impact on your life. Talking about the homie Jared, for example. But I would say overall, it was very eye-opening, really, because you live in Germany. It's a different language. You don't really learn about much about internet culture, like American culture, British culture. British culture. You know what I mean. No, but about other countries' culture, and I was able to connect with so many people from so many different countries, different cultures, and that is something I would have never been able to experience anywhere else. Right. And there's also something. There's just so many things actually on 2B that teach you in a way that you would never be able to learn anywhere else. For example, baiting. Dude, baiting is such a crazy thing. I was so easy to bait back then.
What baiting is in trolling?
Huh?
What baiting is in like trolling someone, like by baiting them into.
No, but saying like some stuff that they obviously don't mean.
Right.
Just
Okay. Right. Yeah. Sure.
Off, right?
So was that something you were kind of foreign to?
Dude, yeah, because like
interesting.
You're trying to mess with your opponent's calm, right? And I was like, dude, you would say a bad thing, bro. We're fucking 2020, like we're on top of this shit, bro. And you would say a bad thing about I was like, no, that you can't say that. It's like, look, we can back it all up. It's like you can't say that shit, right? And obviously they couldn't, but like I was taking it as like the biggest offense and shit. And so this literal art of not caring and not taking everything so seriously, that is something that I've learned, that I've really, really learned from you. And that's something I was so bad at before. I was actually horrible at. Like I remember I was in a call with my professor about something, and he would give me critiques. Like I was also very bad at taking critique, and he would say that, and I was mad, bro. I was fucking mad. And then after like playing 2B, now I'm like, okay, he says what he says. It's fine. And even more than I was picking fights. Like I was picking fights with anyone, right? Like whoever would say something, I would pick a fight with him. I'm not like fucking letting anyone trash talk me. That was my mindset back. And now someone says something and I listen to it, and I say okay, or I don't say anything, and that's it, right? Dude, fucking someone messages me, haha, like pedophile, ha, you disbanded, ha, like any of that, I'm good shit, right? So this entire like baiting or people trying to troll you, it's really that's something where it has really like positively impacted me. And other than that, and I said this many times now, I think I've really found people that are great. This sounds a bit weird maybe, but like super incredible additions to my life that I would never want to miss out on, right? However, and I also said that earlier, that you also have to see the negative sides. Can be very addicting. Dude, look at fucking Big Mooney or Big Money. The motherfucker has like 6 accounts online.
He's not gonna have a teenage life.
Yeah, he's fucking dude. If you listen to this shit, get off your fucking PC. Like there goes
coming from someone who wasted half of his teenage life on 2B. Don't get into it, bro. Like
yeah. Just like, I mean, you can do what you want, really. If it's fun for you, okay. But homie, there's
like, don't start when you're 13. But at least I was like 14 and a half.
Yeah.
No, I was. Wait, hold on. No, I just turned 14, to be fair. Yeah, okay, I was pretty bad. But,
for me, it was fucked, bro. I was in my...
You were like 17, bro.
I was like 19 when II started.
Yeah.
And when II started, it was like 21. And from 19 to 21, you're supposed to be in fucking clubs all the time. But when the clubs are not open, you can't fucking go there. And I live in Berlin, homie.
Yeah, like that's Club Central of Germany, bro.
Yes, literally. Of the fucking world, bro. You have the fucking Berghain here and shit, yo. Like, you do shit here, right? But so that was horrible in a way. It is what it is now. But can be very addicting, very, very, very addicting. I need to say here. And what I feel like is even worse, and that happened to me, but I think it's more an individual thing, and I will let people in on this because I think it is important. Health. Mental health. Okay, for me, mental health was always a very difficult thing because you had always a lot of pressure resulting from the position I was in, right? That was stressful. There were people constantly trying to dox me. not anymore, like not these days anymore, right? But back then it was extreme. Like people were trying to find every single detail, find my university, find my parents' work, find my like anything, right? And that was really messed up. I felt very good though once my face got leaked. I gotta say,
It felt freeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not here. I would not make like fun of anyone's appearance, at least publicly.
Of course.
Bro, and like, what are they gonna say? Like, bro, it's not like I'm fucking like 500 pounds.
No,
like,
you're not a bad looking fella. No.
Thank you so much, Dave. No, but it's nothing. There's nothing to be ashamed of. That's what I'm trying to say.
Of course. So you're happy that Ant Venom made that video all those years ago, then?
Oh, for sure, incredible video. I rewatched that every year. You know.
That's funny. I also rewatched the kind of first few content that got me into TV. It's a little series by a guy called Casual MC. No one's probably heard of him, but he was no. But he has like 500 subscribers or something. He based with Barondome at Hammerbeam, I think that base was.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So that series he made was what. Obviously, I found out about TV from Russia, but watching that series was like. I remember watching that the night before I bought Priority Queue for the first time. I was like, this is gonna be my life for the next at least a year. And I was like,
this is gonna be my life.
I knew, like, as soon as I like kind of looked into 2B, I was like, yeah, right, this is my fucking calling.
That's fucking cool though.
Yeah,
that's actually cool. There's so many forgotten content creators out there, like Mines, for example. Do you remember Mines?
Yeah.
Bro, yo, the voice.
He was a bit before my time, but I did rewatch a lot of his old content.
Yes, all of it, bro. And when I was actively playing, he would still release videos, right? And bro, at the people call me weird for that, but at that time I was really into ASMR and shit, right? Not the weird one where they fucking like eat food.
Yeah, okay.
But like a calm voice, you know, that type of thing. And dude, Mines had an incredible voice.
Yeah,
that was I loved listening to his stuff. That was incredible.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
and also Tarogadude, I think, was another big guy.
Yes, and I think he still does his yearly
he does a cult. I think 2 a year. He does for his for his 1 year anniversary, and I'm fairly sure he does it for something else, maybe New Year's or something. I'm not sure, but I think he does
I don't know. The 1 year for sure, because he always takes a screenshot. That's what he was. I was never a big Tarogadude guy. He made a great video with the Illusion of Order on TV.
That was really good. Yeah, he was kind of the first person to ever like say that publicly. Which was like, damn. I think that was kind of the first time when I watched that video. I remember just getting chills the whole time, being like, bro, this guy's like, he's just spitting facts. Like, he's not missing in this video. And I'm like, oh shit,
at all.
That's actually true.
So, and especially it was also during the entire Edeka time, and that alone. I think the thumbnail of the video is even with Edeka in it.
Yeah.
And that was also such a crazy time when you think about it.
I think that was kind of the turning point for 2B.
Yeah, that's also something that's not being talked about anymore. I want to say this again. There was a streamer that joined the server and later on killed himself, like actually fucking killed himself. And I feel like, I don't know about you.
Do you think there's people that don't know that? I think everyone knows that.
Bro, it's not that.
It's not that.
It's not that. I want to. I think it's known, but I want to remind people what that actually means, because I think people forget about it. I think in a week people will say, "Oh, Technoblade died," but like in this case, like this guy joined the server and then.
I don't know. He had issues, man. It was not.
But isn't that? It's not because of 2B. I'm not saying it's because of 2B, but isn't that crazy? Isn't it something that's like it's actually so crazy, but it's not being talked about anymore?
This is just some wild conspiracy shit, really. I don't know.
No,
It's
just.
I mean, I do agree that
surreal.
it's a surreal coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I'll
so
give you that.
it's so surreal. I remember Barondome blaming Fit for it. Do you know that?
Oh no, he
Do you
did.
know about that?
Yeah, and
Yes, he
he
said
was
it.
serious about that as well.
Yeah, he was dead serious. There's a couple people that are fucking dead serious about that.
That's crazy, man.
I don't know. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, no, it's just dumb.
I mean, he knew himself what he was getting himself into,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think that it was like a main part of why he did, anything, why he took his life, right? But it's still, I think, for Barondom, it left a bad taste. That Fit didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I
about
mean,
it,
Fit never
right?
really made like a RIP video or so, which I don't
Oh, he
think that's his
doesn't.
responsibility.
No,
I think that's
Well,
stupid to say that's his responsibility to acknowledge it in some way, but I can understand why people would be like, okay, he didn't make. He just never acknowledged it, like, at all. And I can see how
people
that can leave a sour taste, I guess.
people were more like saying, or saying, Fit, you have this suicidal person, and you let him in on a fucking server where people will
That's
tell him to
true.
kill
Because it was,
himself.
yeah, that's true. Because it was known that he was, having it. He'd have
Yes,
controversies in the past with like his mental health and shit. And I guess Fit,
yes.
instead of being like,
And Fit knew that. He
that's
knew
true.
that.
Okay, no, I see that point. Actually, that's
And
very
so
true.
that, I think that was the point. Like, if Baron don't want to see this, but like if he sees this, you might want to like correct us in the comments. But like I feel like that was his point, and I can understand that for
Yeah,
sure.
that's for sure. Actually, because
Yeah.
Fit could have pulled him into a VC, be like, hey, this is what the server's like. Just letting you
Yeah.
know. Proceed with caution. Instead, he was like, war. Like, please keep playing so we can have war. This is fun.
We need views.
We need
It
views.
will change the You don't
War.
understand, bro.
Incursion.
It will change the server forever.
History, incursion, Etika,
Yes, all of
nine
that
gang
shit.
army, bro. Like,
But like, so I can understand. I can really understand why some people were like really mad about that. I mean, then again, other people say Barrington were mad because Fit was fronting him for making a video about a tall ass fucking cactus, right? But
yeah.
also like very interesting. All these people that have joined the server have left their like impact, and yeah, it's especially with Edeka, very something that it just isn't talked about much anymore. Dick, do you have any questions? Because if not, I have something. This podcast is like very long already, I know, but I have something that we can talk about. Dick, am I lagging? Lightning, are you here?
What?
I think Dick is gone.
No, surely not.
I can't hear him anymore.
I mean, neither. But I mean,
Oh, my mic cut out. I don't know why. That's weird. Good. Thanks for letting me know.
Nice one.
All right. Well, I said, maybe do you just want to continue?
Well, I've asked. I think I've spoken about everything I planned on speaking about. So if you want to throw in some topics.
Yeah, so maybe we can. Like the podcast is probably already very long, right?
It's 3 hours.
Wow!
We've just hit 3 hours. Yeah.
That's fine. Let's make it like 3:30, right?
Yeah. No.
And
Sure. Go for it.
because this is really nice. I really appreciate this, and
This has been
especially
really good, man.
yeah, and what a lot of people I think don't also don't know is that this is the first time that we have been talking actually in a very long time.
Yeah.
In a very, very long time. I would say that we have not talked in a year.
No, we've been in the same VC, but we haven't actually had a conversation, especially not as deep as this, in fucking ages. I remember, there was a time period where we kind of have frequent conversations like this every couple of weeks or so, but...
even on a daily basis, for sure, yeah. And you're back to 2B now, right? Like you took a long break.
Kind of. Yeah, sure. Not completely.
Okay.
But sure. I'm starting this
see.
podcast, so yeah.
Good podcast, of course. I'm very honored to be on the pilot.
The pilot episode, yeah.
Yes. What I kind of still want to talk about, and people ask me that sometimes even. What do you think about the topic, the server updating?
Oh, server updating. You know, I was gonna include that in the kind of plan for the podcast, but I kind of thought it was sort of not worth mentioning because in my opinion, I don't see it having much effect. The only effect it will have is numbers, I think. It will make the server more active, sure. Is it gonna change the group, the player dynamic, the group dynamic? I don't see how it could, honestly. Because
really,
the 2B2T community, and I say community to refer to how groups work, how like the dynamic of the whole server. I don't just mean the people involved. I think the community is its own community that's only using 2B2T as its basis to do things, to do community things. Yeah. And sure, those things can be added on, but even you were saying, like, much earlier on in the podcast, how you have plans about all these things that are in the base game that are in Minecraft that haven't yet been exploited on. Like, we're in 1.12. There's still so many possibilities. Like the option for creativity is still fucking high, even though we've been on the same version for 5 years. Obviously, updating will give more to that, but I just don't see that having a big effect. It will have a very significant short-term effect in terms of players. I think there will be lots of, so I say meme groups, like less serious groups for like which focus
the followers of the Trident.
Groups that specifically focus on one new game mechanic. Like there'll be a group focused on like the water mechanics of like the new versions, like you can make fucking planes that just like spurt water out. I don't really know the new version, whatever the fuck. There'll be a group primarily dedicated to like some sort of redstone bullshit that you couldn't do in 1.12, and there'll be stuff like that. But I don't see the community as a whole being changed that much because of it. I just don't. I don't know.
So I don't even know if I would actually agree with that. I think actually that the server updating to the newest version will be bigger than any YouTuber that has ever made a video about to be, than like any influx the server has seen
in
before.
terms of numbers. I agree.
And you said that, I think. Did you mean for the short term or long term?
Short term, yeah.
Short term, okay. Because that's what I would also say, right? Because essentially the
short
game is
term massive influx in players.
Yeah, it's never been seen before. Influx, I would even say, because this time you have new people joining, but you have also old people joining back that are just desperately waiting for years now. For the server to update.
Exactly, yeah.
So I know, for example, that I don't even know if I can say this honestly, but let's just say I've heard. Let's say I assume. Okay, I just say I assume that people like Crowbar, who are so gifted at building stuff, right? That they have been like grown like very tired of mechanics that version 1.12.2 has to offer, right? And they see all of these endless possibilities in the newer versions. And if I was in that position, I would feel very demotivated to actually,
that's very true.
Build stuff when you have all these crazy possibilities in the newer versions, and in 1.12 you have fucking, what was it? It was the color update, right? You had like concrete and shit. Like so
I mean, it's good that we're stuck in 1.12 and not like 1.8 or 1.10 or something.
Oh, for sure, right? That would be horrible, huh?
Yeah, because 1.12 did add a shit ton of building blocks.
Yes, there is still plenty of stuff that you can build with, for sure. But once the server updates, and I am a strong believer that it will never update.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
No, I don't think that I will. At the time I play the server, I don't think that it will update. But I have
within the next year.
I have a source. I will spill some beans in a second. That says otherwise, but I still don't believe it. But once, if it does update, then you have all the new players joining back. Fit will have a lot of content for sure. A lot of interesting content also.
Sure.
And you have all the old players that have just been desperately waiting to join back. Or like they're desperately waiting for the update to hit the server. And it's weird though, isn't it? Like the Housemaster team, and I will always say the Housemaster team. They have the test server up for such a long time now, right?
Yeah.
And apparently it's been working out pretty well, but they've been doing it for so long, and there's no like new updates on them, like updating anytime soon. At least no public updates.
Yeah.
But I know that someone, I'm not going to say who, but someone messaged House about a problem that he had with a certain block, and he responded, I think with a certain mechanic, and he responded with something along the lines of, I'm not going to patch it, but it won't be a problem in the newer versions. So, and then saying that soon, meaning soon, it won't be a problem anymore because he's preparing for the server to update. And this happened very recently, right?
So a block in 1.12 soon won't be a problem.
Yes, an issue that we have with a game mechanic right now soon won't be a problem anymore because it isn't a problem anymore in the newer versions.
Right.
So therefore, saying that the server will
soon TM basically.
Yeah. Right? Like saying or giving, like hinting that the server will update soon. I still don't believe it. I just don't. I just do not believe it. I'm still waiting for the 1.13 aquatic update. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen.
We've been waiting a while. It will be such an awesome thing to experience though, because it's one of those things that the majority, like 90% of the current player base has never experienced an update, and it will just be so interesting.
And then the water cube will actually be so fucking bad because you have all the fish in the water cube.
Oh yeah,
it's like endless.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't there water mechanics that allow for the water cube to be easily like destroyed in the new versions?
No idea. Maybe.
Is that
I really don't keep up with it. But I can tell you one thing. You know those like the mechanics with the magma blocks? Where they where they, when you put them underwater, they generate all those bubbles.
That'll make life for newfags easy. Yeah.
No, they make it fucking bad because you just put them. You scaffold one layer of those magma blocks on the bottom of the fucking water cube.
That pushes them to the top, right?
No, it pushes them down. I think it. I think what pushes you to the top is the soul sand.
Soul sand, right? Okay, yeah.
Or it might be the other way around. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was the magma blocks, so that.
Okay. Whatever, either one.
Yeah. So it pushes them down, but also it has all those particles, which will just lag the ever-living shit. It will lag the ever-living shit out of your game, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 shanks each direction.
Just bubbles.
Bubbles dragging you down. Incredible thought, but.
Yeah.
We'll see. Also, if the server updates, if anyone wants to further expand the water cube, they should be very quick because what they would have to do is build like a big ice diagonal on top of the obby sky, and they could make a giant like water cube in no time to fill in the rest of the space. It's like the height levels and shit, the Y level is increased. And stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. It's interesting how House is going to deal with that. I mean, I know he's done it on the test server, but it's fucking broken on the test server. Like, I'm logged out in the void, and I just can't move. Like, it's.
Oh, okay, but you have tested it, yeah? You have logged on.
Yeah.
I don't trust this shit. I don't log on the test server.
What do you mean you don't trust it?
I feel like there's some exploit active on the test server.
I only logged in because I knew my account wasn't anywhere sensitive. But that being said, I did also log in on my Stash account a while ago. So
you should have not said that.
No one knows what my Stash account's called, so it's fine. But
okay, I see.
Yeah, basically.
So I remember us saying no one is logging in at any account on the test server because we all have it at a place that,
right, sure.
Yeah, private place.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You're not doing, no one here is moving, bro. No one's doing jack shit. But yeah, Bucky, I'm so curious to see what will happen once the server updates, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting whether or not it will, in the long term, lead to a change in how 2B2T is experienced. Time will tell, I guess. I don't think it will, but it's definitely going to be a fun fucking journey and a big shit show, especially initially. Like, it's going to be AIDS, bro. Like, the amount of just shit that's going to hit the fan as soon as it updates is going to be crazy.
And also, what's going to happen to the content creators? What's going to happen to Fit, bro? Like, will he continue making videos? What happens if he stops making videos?
Oh, you're talking about long term into the future, like regardless of updating, right? Yeah.
What happens? Because people.
Well, he's already slowed down, hasn't he? He's gone to a video of Fortnite now, isn't it?
Did he?
I mean, he's got his money. He's made his money. He doesn't need to keep grinding. For sure. He's made his millions, and he gets probably tens of thousands a month in legacy views by just not uploading.
For sure, bro. So, he takes ads from like how to shave your balls properly, right? Like
Manscaped, Raycons, bro.
And you're fucking doing
Raycons. If you want to sponsor the podcast, hit me up, of course.
Hit dig up. They were surely listening to like the 3-hour long.
Oh yeah, they really want to learn about
just for this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to the server when there are no content creators anymore?
Yeah, it's interesting to think about because I think okay. First of all, this isn't that related, but I think maturing on 2B2T is realizing to respect Fitmc. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna that's gonna piss off a lot of people.
Yes, but you said the way you said it, you really emphasized on the respect there. You get to
respect what he's done, like as a person rather than a player. As a player, he's been AIDS, he's fucked the server, sure. Like he's made a whole generation of newfags insensitive to history. He's made blah blah blah. Like cool, but at the same time, anyone in his position would have done basically the exact same. I mean, personally, if I was in his position, I would have done it with more respect to the server, but still would have milked the fuck out of it. Like who wouldn't, you know?
Yeah, he is the winner. Like no matter what
him and Housemart or whoever owns 2B, they are the true winners of 2B2T. They've won.
For me personally, I wouldn't say so. I do agree when I can understand why people would say that. But like because it's just cooler it's just way cooler to be a YouTuber, right? You can connect with all of these people. Hell, this motherfucker can talk with fucking Mr. Beast, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Or like Dream or whatever. It's just cool, you know. It's the lifestyle is different. And I think that's nice. When you're housemaster, then people will call you a coke addict, and all you have to do is like take care of like retards trying to fuck with your server, right?
That's true. That's true.
So I kind of think that.
And Fit probably makes a lot more money than housemaster. So.
He is a smart guy. He's a smart guy when it comes to finances and shit.
That's what I'm saying. I respect Fit as a person.
Yeah, and again, he's the winner, bro. Like, if you want to hear it or not, like, I mean, obviously, I don't care what anyone thinks about that, but he's the fucking winner. Yeah. Obviously, not the one that makes the most money is always the winner. Sure, you can argue that, but you think he gives a shit about what anyone thinks here?
But then again, there's the other extreme. Well, no, there's the extreme of that, which is, he's the only winner. All of you are just pawns in this game. But no, like Bucky, you've won on 2B2T. You admit it's made you a better person. I've won on 2B2T. The things I've gained from 2B have been, I've really enjoyed it. You know, it's stuff that I think it's had a net positive impact on my life, and I think a lot of other people can agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, a lot of people have won 2v2t, just to different extremes.
In different ways, and in the ways of monetary gain. He yeah, he has one for sure.
He is, yeah.
He's changed, like, he's not a boring teacher anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm so sorry, but like being a teacher is important. Like, for anyone as a teacher right now, you're doing great. Thank you so much. But I would still rather want to be a fucking YouTuber.
2v2t YouTuber, bro.
To, like, talk about how pop-up griefed my base in 2030. Like, that's way more intriguing than other stuff for me personally.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Bucky, it's been a pleasure, my guy. It's been awesome.
Yes.
I've really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm really glad you've been able to kind of go deep into. You've opened up quite a lot, which is very nice. Something I appreciate, and I think everyone watching will also appreciate.
Thank you so much. This was really, really nice. I really appreciated this talk. Maybe this is also a bit controversial, but like, I think this was the actual first real podcast.
Throwing shade at the Anarchy podcast here, are we?
Bro, they can go fuck themselves. What are they gonna do? Fucking nothing. That guy's not even active.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Vincent is a great guy.
I love Vincent. I'm gonna get Vincent on this podcast.
Vincent is a great guy. He makes bomb ass videos.
Vincent's fucking amazing.
And I still don't enjoy the podcast.
No, I've really enjoyed being a part of the Fastcast, especially that episode we did on the no-com people. I think that was really
and then you had fucking birds, and then you're just like, who the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, no, that was a different expert.
But like, he's not doing completely bad, I guess, but I enjoyed this, much more, just from the topics we talked about, and I really appreciate that it just wasn't this plain interview type of thing that we talked about earlier.
How do you escape spawn?
How did you escape spawn?
What did your first base look like? What was your first food on TV?
What was shed like in 2018?
Were people spammy?
Yeah, it's like, sure, that can be interesting, but seasoned players. Like,
it's why I've always wanted to start my own podcast, because I've always been like, I want to actually ask about like the causes and effects of actions, and
we have heard about this shit so many times.
A bit deeper in it,
But so
Bucky, any final remarks to the people watching?
All right, I will think of something real quick. That's very will be very influential. Once again, thank you everyone for listening. I hope everyone is still having, even after all this time, a lot of fun playing 2v2t. For the people that might have quit already, for the people that still play, it's a shitty community. This community is fucking shit, but I fucking love this community in its own like quirky way, right? And for everyone that has ever, that I've ever crossed like my ways with, if it wasn't the good or in the bad, doesn't fucking matter. It's all, it's all the past now, and I can say anything that happened. It was fun. It was cool. I'm very glad that everything, maybe some things not as much as other things, but I'm kind of glad how everything turned out, and I'm very glad to be part of this community after all, and I hope that anyone listening or not listening, we will have a lot of fun in the future too. So thank you so much.
Big up. There you go, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I certainly did. Definitely a good definitely a good pilot episode. I've got a couple interesting guests lined up for the future. Of course, check out the Patreon, link in description. You'll be able to join in on the action live. You'll be able to watch in the studio. I don't know. I don't think Lightning's actually. He's the only supporter right now. He was here a while ago. He's listening into the VC. But, you can come watch us in game, explore. Obviously, this space is called Alfheim. It's where me and Bucky based in early 2019.
Oh yeah,
and it didn't come. It's fine. It's irrelevant. It's just a nice backdrop. But this is one of me and Bucky's favorite bases back in 2019, and that's his build over there, the big fuck off house. My build is that arse pixel art, which I built on top of my friend's house, IMEM's house. That's my contribution. That's Bucky's contribution. So, yes. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode of the DigCast. See you guys later. Adios.
Bye-bye.